years here in Los Angeles. So you can see it is raining. The folks have their umbrellas with them. The windshield wipers shine because it is a necessity if you're out and about during this evening commute.
And a lot of people are asking, man, Burbank gets on the news a lot. So does Studio City and Sherman Oaks. How come they're always in the news? Universal City, Universal City. But let me tell you why. NBC is at Universal Studios. ABC is where the 134 and the 5 meet, Glendale. CBS is at Radford in Studio City, and so is K-Town. So you have 4 of the major stations all within about 2.5, 3 miles of each other. And so when they go out to do a news story, they like to stay close to the station. So when they do their live hit, as soon as they're done, like let's say they're doing the 11 o'clock news, and they do a live doc at 11:05, they can pack up and be back to the studio in 10 minutes, and then they can go home from there. If they go all the way to Palmdale, do a live remote, they got to drive all the way back to Studio City, and then drive all the way home. So that's why you see Burbank, Studio City, Sherman Oaks in the news a lot, because it's convenient for Channel 2, 4, 7, and 9. And Channel 11 is on the west side. You see a lot of stories in Santa Monica out there. But that's why you see a lot of this stuff. That's why Burbank's always in it.
Take a look at this video from not too far away, not too long ago. As the rain that years in relentlessly afternoon. It is going in between just a good solid soaker and then a light rain and then back to a soaker, but it's certainly keeping everybody on their toes. The good news with this particular rainstorm that I'm seeing out here in the field is I'm not seeing the flash flooding in the streets. We're not hearing about the water rescues and some of the things that have been much more dangerous in recent weeks because of the storms that we've had come through.
I think she's right. We don't see a lot of the swift water rescues. Last year or a couple years back, you saw one, every single day. Now you see one maybe once a week. I can't remember the last time we had one. It was last week that the guy at Boyle Heights was crossing the LA River. And then the dog up in the hills.
With other systems. With this one in particular, it seems to be holding the slow and steady, but it certainly is a nuisance to many who are out and about. I like this. I like this one so much.
These are the April Fool's Joke. The sun coming out brightly in within 30 minutes of stop. Okay. If somebody has to lay a calendar on this guy, it's not April Fool's because, well, it's not April. I don't know what you think April Fool's is. It's not just a guess. It's not an estimate. It comes on April 1st. April 1st of April.
I'm like, I think it was an April Fool's joke.
It's not an April Fool's joke. It's not April Fool's.
Sun came out brightly, flat, then get the sky of calendar.
In within 30 minutes of dawn. We're back to it in Chalet,
Aren't that called spring?
Well, yeah, but it's the biggest out of the day.
That's right. I'm like a lion and out like a lamb. I think that's what they say about March. So we're all crossing our fingers and hoping that this rain, well, just simply stops falling. I'll put it back to you, Pat.
All right, thank you, Joy. Fantastic, man. All right, let's go to Big Bear and find out what's happening up in Big Bear. Here at Paradise, your local mountains, this latest storm has dumped at least 6 inches of fresh snow at the mountain resort, and they're expecting several feet of snow to fall in the next couple of days. The snowfall this season has been more than double of what they get in an average season. Yesterday, Big Bear announced that it would extend its ski season through April. Wow. And it's also said it will stay open through July. Yeah, July. It looks like Mammoth is going to stay open, and they're going to try to stay open until August for you ski lovers out there like Elliot. Love the hours. All right, storm. We heard Burbank, then we went to the mountains. Let's go down to the deep southern part of Orange County in San Clemente and find out what's going on there when we come back. San Clemente update when we come back. All of our friends in Orange County, they want to hear that. And then we're keeping an eye on power outages as well, plus the LAUSD strike. So go, as Neil Stevens would say, go nowhere. I'm your welfare host. It's Ron Thomas, John Campbell. More now with pros. Okay, by 24 News. Orange County has been spring on bail and domestic violence cases have been arrested again for allegedly killing found in her apartment in Oklahoma Friday. Aaron Romo was arrested in Riverside County. The U.S. is speeding up delivery of tanks and air defense systems to Ukraine. Ukrainian soldiers are in Oklahoma getting training to use these systems. And sportswear company Fanatics will be replacing Adidas next year as the official uniform partner of the National Hockey League. And the contract is for 20 years. The first time the Fanatics logo will be on a pro sports uniform. We'll take a look at the product freeway. So let's talk about windows. You like windows, right? American Vision windows are the best. We have 3 windows that are announced. Guys, come by tomorrow. I get 3 or 4 more. I love them. They're great. They keep the warm air in the winter. They keep the warm air out in the summer. That's their duty. And they have a saying over there, revolutionizing the home improvement industry, one customer at a time, while change the lives of their employees for the better. People make the difference, and nobody knows it better than Bill and Kathleen, American Vision Windows. They have they're AAMA certified, and I think those certifications exist because of American Vision Windows. They're saying we wouldn't let a technician go to your home that we wouldn't allow into our home. So due to the energy costs, everyone's looking to save money everywhere they can, and nice, beautiful windows that keep the cold air out in the winter are perfect. Right now, you can get 0% interest, 0 payments until 2024, plus free expert installation. That is a sweet deal. All the offers you can see on the website. Check them out for details on approved credit. Call them up, 888-226-9908, 888-226-9908. For the website, AmericanVisionWindows.com, AmericanVisionWindows.com. Offers price $331 on your free software tier, 27783.
Bad news on. That's on the side, making available on the southbound side. It's kind of crowded right at the 133, but then it opens up and looks pretty decent. More flowing ahead. Then looking from El Toro Road, looking better before Lisa Parkway. That northbound side loads up in Austin from Red Hill as you continue ahead all the way to Harbor in Anaheim. Still really tough in the tunnel path. 15 northbound, you can run now into the 138. We're flowing ahead, coming out of the turns all the way to the 395 and the drive in Santa Clarita. 14 northbound flowing stretches from the 5 freeway all the way to Terra Blossom Highway. KFI in the sky, helps get you there faster. I'm Eva Martinez.
Listen to the most champion, Alfred Williams. Here's what's trending on the iHeart Sports Network. Tonight, Captain of the NBA, tonight features the Clippers taking on the Thunder. Kawhi Leonard and Paul George are available for the contest. Norman Powell will not play. For the Lakers, they host the Suns tomorrow. John Gibson is in it for the Ducks to entertain the Flames. And Trouble Grizzlies star John Moran is returning to the team for tomorrow's game against the Rockets after serving an 8-game suspension for conduct detrimental to the NBA. I'm Frank Aaron.
Intelligence runs in the family. Innovation runs in the family. Extraordinary runs in the family. The Mercedes-Benz range of SUVs. Every member is waiting to impress. Learn more at MDUSA.com. This report is sponsored by Echo Park.
Welcome back to RioRabbi. Like our today, we've got Rosie from Echo Park Long Beach. Rosie is the best super state line of the team. If it wasn't for her, I would probably still not have a Echo Park Long Beach, the best rock ride today. Every car, happy owners, Echo Park.
Wayne Rock Vegas welcomes you to Awakening, a new theatrical experience created by award-winning artists, enriched by spectacular sound, meet colorful characters, and journey with them through wondrous realms. Experience Awakening. Get your tickets at awakening.com.
Starting May 7th, 2025, you'll need a federally accepted form of identification, like a real ID, to fly within the United States and visit friends and extended family members on military bases. So why wait to give yourself these real benefits? Get your real ID by starting the application online. Upload the correct documents and make your appointment at the DMV to finish the process. By applying for a real ID now, it's one less thing to worry about later. Visit realid.dmv.ca.gov today. I'm attorney Gary Capanoki, founder of 1-800-NO-COPS, reminding you to exercise your right to just shut up. That sort of thing. 1-800-NO-COPS. If you own a small business and you got through COVID and you were able to retain 5 or more employees, you could be eligible for a payroll tax refund of up to $26,000. Answer a few questions, takes under 10 minutes, and you'll see if your business qualifies for this tax refund. There's no charge up front. They don't get paid until your business gets paid. And businesses of all types can qualify, including those at the CPP and nonprofits, even if you had increases in sales during COVID. They are experts in the federal loan payroll tax refund program, and they've already returned over $3 billion to businesses. In my business, getrefunds.com, getrefunds.com. You know what, Lo? I mean, listen to you every night, and let's have a kick the better person to put this drop, bro. I really enjoy this show. I'm kind of like beer. The first time you taste it, you may not taste great. Even if you don't like it, you're at least drunk at the end of the evening. Roadkill, you can keep it live 7 to 10 p.m. on KFI and on demand anytime on the iHeartRadio app. That King Case came down and paid us an awfully nice compliment. That's cool. Right? That hardest working man in the building, Tim Case, with KLAC. Yes, dude. I do mine more often, right? I don't know if this could be Rob Mine or not, but that guy knows a lot about sports. A lot about sports. He's voice of UCLA. There's the Raiders game. So they're KLAC 570 a.m. So give it a listen. Not during sports at p.m., but it's a listen. All right, let's talk about San Clemente. That's a big story. A lot of homes. A lot of people who own homes there are worried about their homes slipping off the cliffs there. That's a big, big deal. And they have every right to be worried about. A lot of people's entire future is in your home. You either sell your home when your kids leave, go off to college, and you get a smaller home, maybe a condo. And if your home slides down the cliff there, and insurance doesn't cover it, that could be your entire future. All right, let's find out what's going on with this storm. And a good friend in Sports.
Right on the beach, and I've been standing out here looking for water spouts. Soaked one jacket, so now I moved on to the red one here. It has been a wild weather day across Orange County. But we also wanted to make sure that the landslide in San Clemente was holding. So we came to this spot. There was a little bit of mud flow, the officials tell us. That was earlier in the day, but they say so far so good. Water is dripping out of an exposed pipe at the San Clemente landslide. Each slope was pummeled as the storm moved through Tuesday morning, which caused some soil slippage near the wreck at times.
There was a little bit of loss of the hillside, but it was only a few feet. Sure. A little more sloughage, they say, with the top level. Hey, a little more what? A little more sloughage, they sloughage. Sure. A little more sloughage, they say, with the top level. Has moved down the slope a little bit, but it wasn't anything structural. There was no loss.
I think this is the mayor of Sacramento.
Damage to any structure, so.
Hey, how you doing? I live in California. My name is Michael Roth, Rabbi Michael ROTHSCHILD. I just got on the Discord recently and just learning more about global finance. And one of the ways I do it is go into Discords and watch Bloomberg. We stream together and we, make comments on it and learn about it.
2 lanes are shut down because of this. Water is bubbling up from underneath the number 1 lane.
Well, technically my mission is world peace. I actually have more data online than any person in global history, so I'm quite a celebrity in my own right. I have the last 2 years of my entire life uploaded to YouTube on 6 different streams, and if you know anything about data, it's the number 1 resource in the entire world. So one day I'm going to be a very rich person, and if I am, I'll make all of you or both of you in this room very rich as well. That's a beautiful thing. So with that, I've got just a couple things I'm going to be doing just right over here off camera. Feel free to let me know if you need anything. We're just going to be watching Bloomberg and just chilling, so to speak, okay? Excellent. Pleasure to be here with you.
City officials say a pump diverting stormwater failed, but that there was no damage.
Yeah, it didn't fail. It wasn't started. That's what happened.
And look at the parking lot at Florida Mars Station. It was inundated with water after unrelenting rain pounded the place for several hours. Back in San Clemente, people living on the edge of the cliff hope everything holds. So to repeat, officials here in San Clemente are cautiously optimistic because they did not see any large-scale erosion.
Yeah, San Clemente is one of those beautiful places.
That's phenomenal. I hang out with the DJs all night, We actually host a DGen show on Twitter Spaces for people in the Web3 space. So I'm part of an NFT. If you're familiar with what NFTs are, so we host karaoke. Oh, okay. So excellent. So I just got into the game, but it's Angry Ape Society. If you're familiar with which one that one is, and it's a really interesting. If you know, NFT LA is going on right now. As a matter of fact.
But the second storm, as you can see, Pat, has moved in. We've got strong winds and a lot of rain falling, so we're hoping that part two goes as well as part one did.
Okay, so we started with Burbank, then we went to the mountains.
Feel free. I got 6 of them going on.
Everybody south to San Clemente. Now we're going a little bit north of there to the Inland Empire and find out what's happening in the Inland Empire, the Fontana area. Well, the bottom line is for the people living up in the mountains, many of them don't want any more heavy snow, and for people living in the bird areas, they don't want any more heavy rain. And then you have all of the washes and creeks throughout the Inland Empire. The water level is rising, and rescue teams on high alert. The most recent storm to hit the Inland Empire meant heavy rain coming down in Devore and powerful runoff in the Cajon Wash made for a busy day for swiftwater rescue teams. The driver of this SUV swept away near Swarthouse Canyon and Cajon Boulevard. Fortunately, he's going to be okay after being treated for hypothermia. But just down the road, another driver got stuck, this time a big truck. At least his vehicle was large enough that it didn't get swept away. The San Bernardino County Fire Department swiftwater rescue team called in to help him. Crews worked to remove mud and debris down Little San Antonio Creek. Metal Garrison of Running Springs was visiting her daughter today, dealing with minor flooding all across town. Farther north in Ukiah, several neighborhoods were under evacuation warnings most of the day. This is the El Dorado fire burn scar, and authorities are concerned that with the hillside so saturated, they could give way at any time. Yeah, it is unbelievable out there. All right, Mo Kelly is coming in. Later with Mo Kelly starts in about 10 minutes. What's on the big show? What do you guys? Ray! How did you know? How did you know? I looked up. Yeah. Here's the window to the studio. Hey, when we have storms this big, let's talk a little later today. I left my house at around 3 o'clock. I think around 4:30. No, it's not bad. What time did you leave yesterday? You left at 10? No, I left at like 8:30 to get here around 10. Yeah. 10 a.m. And my show's not until 7 p.m. Right. I don't know how you do it, man. All right, listen, other than rain, we got a big strike. Okay. Chris Adler will be joining us. And also we have actress Dale Soul from Orange is the New Black. She has a new animated show on Comedy Central, which is adult, called Gig Man. We're going to talk to her about that. And the California bill, which could ban the sale of Skittles and hot tamale candy. Because it's California. Yeah, they're going after the really important stuff. Of course, get stuff in AK-47, but no Skittles. We'll be trying to ban both stuff. All right. I'll be listening later with Mo Kelly up next on KFI AM 640. This KFI magically appears using nothing but your beautiful voice. Tell your mouse robot to play KFI AM 640. KFI. KOST HD2. Los Angeles, Orange County. Live everywhere on the NR Radio app. A river of water. I'm Amy King, live from the KFI 24-hour newsroom. The 12th atmospheric river storm of the season is pounding Southern California with heavy rain, flooding, strong winds, and snow. And as the Weather Service issued a special alert this afternoon, telling residents in Camarillo and Thousand Oaks to take shelter because of the chance of tornado-like landspouts and hail. Winter storm warnings and watches have been issued all over Southern California. A flood watch for most of LA will be in effect for tomorrow. A flood watch is up for Orange County, coastal, and inland areas. The San Bernardino Mountains are getting even more snow as people continue to dig out from the recent blizzard. Snow could clog up roadways and have leaks to roofs already stressed from ice from the last storm. County Supervisor John Rouse says officials have taken action to prepare. The Regina Pines Fire Protection District has made the request to the state Office of Emergency Services for 2 strike teams consisting of 10 agent crews from other California agencies. All county public works employees and on-call contractors for snow plowing and patrol. The county has urged people to prepare to possibly be stuck inside their homes. In San Bernardino, Blake Troll and KFI News.
LA school workers have begun a 3-day strike against what they call unlawful treatment by the district. Workers say they've been negotiating with LA School Superintendent Alberto Carvalho for over 10 months with no urgency by the district to address their needs. Computer technician for LA Schools, Santos Robles, says the district has the resources to pay workers what they deserve.
We have financial people who also look at books and determine whether what we're asking for is affordable and sustainable, and our people say it is.
The strike is expected to last through Thursday with more tickets and rallies scheduled throughout the county. In LA, Chris Adler, KFI News. The Pentagon has announced it will speed up the training and delivery of Abrams tanks and Patriot missile defense systems to Ukraine.
This is about getting this important combat capability into the hands of the Ukrainians sooner rather than later.
Pentagon Brigadier General Pat Ryder says the Department of Defense is working in close coordination with Ukraine. He says the M1A1 Abrams tanks will be delivered by the fall of this year. A judge overseeing another case involving former President Trump has ordered one of Trump's lawyers to hand over records, notes, invoices, and other pieces of evidence.
Special counsel's office prosecutors have presented compelling early evidence that former President Trump knowingly and deliberately misled his own attorneys by keeping classified material after leaving office.
Citizens in the field says the judge wrote there is clear evidence that Trump committed crimes related to taking classified documents. The judge also wrote in a sealed filing that Trump's lawyers should be compelled to testify. Trump has repeatedly denied any wrongdoing when it comes to classified documents taken by the FBI last summer. Starbucks is trading drinks for customers based on their Zodiac signs. Coffee drinkers can go to starbucks.com, type in their Zodiac sign to get semi-personalized results. The company teamed up with astrology app Sanctuary. High gusty winds and rain tonight, lows in the 30s and 40s, up to 6 inches of snow possible overnight in the Antelope Valley with winds gusting up to about 60 miles per hour. Showers with a slight chance of thunderstorms tomorrow morning, rain off and on to the afternoon, snow in higher elevations, highs in the 40s and 50s. It could dry out by Thursday with highs in the low 60s and look for sunny skies Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. It's 52 in Yorba Linda, 55 Irvine, 56 in Carson, 53 in Laguna Beach. The KFI Financial Report sponsored by Jacoby and Myers Injury Attorney. The Dow closed today up 316 points. The NASDAQ added 185. S&P 500 gained 51. The average price for regular unleaded gas in California, $4.84 a gallon. Don't wait. Maximize your compensation after an accident. Call Jacoby and Myers now. Justice for you since 1972. We got a big crash from a 210 and locking out a country.
That's heading westbound at Angeles Crest Highway. It's blocking the 2 right lanes, so your guys start to jam up right around Foothill. And if you're in the 101 that's heading southbound in Hollywood, you'll see a busy ride approaching Western, and it stays pretty heavy until you get their speed through Chavez Avenue. And some good news on the 101 heading northbound in Queens, you guys slowly recovering from Highland. KFI in the Sky helps get you there faster. I'm Pedro Moreno. This hour is sponsored by Advanced Hair Restoration. You lost your cat up the tree?
Yeah, he's way up there. I'm scared to come down.
Hang on, I'll get him for you.
Be careful, mister.
Thanks, kid. Here you go.
Where did he come from? And where is he now? In case.
What? Oh, no, your mom and dad called us to clean out your showers, and
What?
they were up a tree too.
Really?
Your tree was really clogged, backing up, and we have to stop that nasty stuff from invading your bathroom.
So you're a hero?
Try to be every day. We're Rooter Heroes.
Wow.
We make sure you live in a safe, clean house. Go on.
Thanks for rescuing Dory.
Before a hero dies.
If you have a clogged tree, call Hero Hero. Come in and go online at HeroHero.com.
Attorney Joe Cordell. Business owners and professionals face special challenges in divorce court. In addition to everything else going on, they have to contend with allegations that they are earning more than money, coupled with claims on their business or practice itself. Clients with assets sales skills. 1455 Gracie Road, San Diego, California, 92108. CordellCordell.com. On IQ's Daily Game Podcast, the cultural icon unveils words of wisdom and motivational quotes he's collected over the years. No punches are pulled, as Ice shares his special brand of profound and brutal honesty on topics like romance, success, failure, and more. You can't sit back back and say, I'm going to win this game and not go to practice. You still got to play that game. Faith and your mind is just not going to make it happen. Listen to IC's Daily Game on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcast. This is Jacob Amon. If you've been involved in a motorcycle accident, call 844-24-JACOB. More stimulating talk.
And iHeartRadio station.
It's later with Mo Kelly. KFI AM 640. We're live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. Of course, we're monitoring the storm where nearly 150,000 people are presently without power as the atmospheric river continues to rain down all over Southern California. Strong winds, heavy rain everywhere. PCH closures in Huntington Beach due to flooding. Debris cleanup in Dana Point. But are you safe? Hopefully you're doing okay. Hopefully you're just inconvenienced. Hopefully you're like me. Maybe you had to take a little bit longer to get to work. Maybe you had to take a different route. Maybe you're just inconvenienced and you're not necessarily someone who is out power or someone who is suffering or someone who may be trapped in the snow. You know that the extreme snowfall up in the mountains is going to become an issue once again, as we saw what would happen a few weeks ago. So my goal is to make sure that you're all safe. So keep listening to KFI. If you have been listening, like Tim Conway Jr., also John Ken and Gary and Shannon, and going all the way back to Bill Handler, Wake Up Call. If you've been listening, you know that we have had constant and consistent updates relating to the weather, so you don't need to go anywhere else. You don't need to turn the proverbial dial or the real dial. You don't have to switch stations, which you're streaming on iHeartRadio. Keep it right here, and we'll keep you informed. And something else which I found very strange, and I'd have to say first good evening to NET, because she's going to be someone who can help sort this next piece out for me. I can't sort it out, but I know she can. All right, I'm ready for it. Now, Disneyland is closing early tonight because of the rainstorm. And they consider early to be 11 o'clock. Not Spray Farm and Six Flags Magic Mountain closed altogether. What I don't understand is why is it Disneyland is so seemingly very different in how they are approaching this rain as opposed to Six Flags and Not Spray Farm.
Well, I don't have the actual official answer, but my best guess would be that Disneyland doesn't have the bigger roller coaster ride.
So the portions of the park that they can keep open, which would be unimpacted by the rain, they think that, or enough of the park would be open where it would make sense to remain open.
Yeah, because like going on in a small world is not like a 5,000-foot drop that you get a 6 foot.
Mm-hmm.
So I would imagine that that's that, and a lot of the attractions at Disneyland are actually inside, even though the lines or the queues are outside. And if you want to stand in the rain like that, have at it.
I have never been to any amusement park in the rain. I have been at Knott's Berry Farm where it began to rain near the end of the evening and everyone that's the end of our day. But I have never considered going to an amusement park on a day in which either it was forecast to rain or it was presently raining. And I wonder who would go to Disneyland on a day like this where you knew.
I have. I wouldn't have planned to go today because the rain was forecast to be so heavy, the atmospheric river. But it's not just going to be light rain, it's going to get poured on. But we've gone before in the rain, like when it was just staying rainy. And one thing, if you're a ride junkie, you can get on rides because the park kind of empties out, right? Mm-hmm. So you can get a lot of attractions in, and if you don't mind being soaked to the skin, then it's fine.
Yeah, that kind of, let's put this up, I'm sorry, it dampens the whole experience. It's just a damper on the whole day. I just wouldn't think that would be enjoyable as ride to side.
Yeah, if it's just light showers, a little sprinkling of rain. I think in the last couple of months I've been there when it rains just a little bit, so it wasn't bad. But one time I had my family down here. It was over the holidays, and the first day it was pretty much pouring. And my mom lasted about an hour and then said, "This is great. I'm going back to the hotel room." And but But my 12-year-old nephew thought it was the best thing ever because there were no crowds and that kind of stuff. So, it's fine, it's doable, plus you can spend more time inside truck races.
I just found it fascinating because each amusement park has a very different approach to this. Like Legoland, California, typically offers a rainy day promise, which allows visitors to return within a year when, come back on some day in which it's not raining. Disneyland, California Adventure, Universal Studios Hollywood, SeaWorld San Diego, and Legoland California remain open today despite the showers. So it's a park by park basis, but I think you're more right than not in the sense of the types of attractions which are being offered.
Yeah, and there's a lot less thrill rides than like if you go on Space Mountain. Once you get that, most of that line is undercover. So, it just depends on the ride that you want to go on. A lot of the Rise of the Resistance, a lot of that is undercover.
See, I would be more inclined to go if they had not a rainy day promise, but a rainy day discount or a rainy day refund, where if you went there and it started raining, they maybe give you $5-10 back.
So why they're not?
I know that. I know, but I'm just saying I would be more inclined. Because if I went there and it started raining like it is today, or if I had no intentions of going to Disneyland because of the rain, but I would more consider it if they took maybe, I don't know, $50-$60 off the price of it, then yeah, I might consider it. Because then it would be more worth my while because there would be fewer people in the park. And even though it wouldn't be optimal, I could probably take in more rides and attractions than I normally would on a sunny day.
Exactly. But like if you're going to Six Flags, which has a huge roller coaster, I don't think sitting on those rides when it's raining and the wind is blowing and getting pelted with rain, that doesn't sound fun.
Well, it's not for me at my age, but if I were 17, 18, 19, yeah, probably would. Just probably would. Now, I don't know.
Oh, yeah, there's all kinds of stuff here, Jonathan. We used to go skiing in blizzard skiing.
Which is not the smartest thing.
And I'd never do that today. But, when you're 18 years old and you have a ski pass, and I was fortunate enough to have that when I was that age. But we just went all, it didn't matter.
Yeah, I think there's probably also some sort of safety component to it when you talk about roller coasters. I'm only speculating now why they were closed down. I would say the ride enthusiast parks like Six Flags, Magic Mountain, where I'm pretty sure there's plenty of young people who don't mind being out there in the rain. If anything, it adds another dimension of fun to them, but they still close the park down. I don't know. Well, your son goes to the park, not to see the celebration. Do it.
Kids don't care. They don't care. And then when you're not kidding, when you go, yeah, you should do that when I'm going now.
But, part of the
So we used to fund it.
Right. You should at least say when you get to the hour, certain age, you could say, but I did. Or at least I could say I've lived, I've had these experiences. It wasn't the smartest thing to do in the world. But you could say that, I did it, I survived it, and I've lived. And then I have some wisdom to pass on to the younger generation.
Yeah, here's my son's story about Disneyland when it was pouring all day. And we went back the other day. And we said, okay, we're done, we gotta go get some food, we gotta get out of the park and go sit down somewhere. So where'd we go for lunch? The Rainforest Cafe. And about every 15 minutes, the storm started up in the rainforest.
When we come back, we're going to talk about the LAUSD strike. The first day, and then after that, I'll be joined by Chris Adler, who was basically out there in the rain, on the ground, talking to people who were striking to get their perspective. You can keep it right here. It's later with Mo Kelly. KFI AM 640 will live everywhere. The iHeartRadio app now back to ABC and KFI 24-hour newsroom.
Teachers joined rain-soaked picket lines early this morning with workers demanded better wages and increased staffing on the first day of a three-day strike. Bus driver Mike Cervantes says these 7-hour picket lines, rain or shine, schools are closed for the strike affecting more than 420,000 students. A woman and her 12 cats have been killed in a house fire in Stillmar. Our fire started around 11 last night. There were no working smoke detectors in the home. Succession star Sarah Smith is going to surprise for Dio as it shows season 4 premiere in New York. She's pregnant with her first child and showed off her baby bump. Season 4, which will be a flash, premieres March 26th. We'll get some problems on the weekend now. Feel the breeze.
Most of those other supplements out there, these extracts of fruits and vegetables, and when you take them, you're not watered down extract. Oh, that makes sense. I mean, I don't eat as healthy as I should. I can admit that. That's where Field of Greens comes in. Each ingredient in Field of Greens with scientifically chosen to support vital organs, like your heart, lungs, kidney health, others support by an immune system, talking about blood pressure, metabolism, and healthy weight loss. Here's the thing, I'm getting my sex feedback as well as my health. And Field of Greens don't share that with you, Taylor. And Field of Greens is backed by its better health promise. If your doctor doesn't tell you the numbers have improved at your next checkup, well, you get a full refund. You have absolutely zero to lose. So let's keep it started with 15% off your first order at fieldofgreens.com. Just use promo code KFI. That's promo code KFI at fieldofgreens.com.
Rain and misty winds overnight, rain tomorrow, highs in the 50s, snow and higher elevations, around 6 and late tomorrow. This report brought to you by Catalina Island Company. Set up this rich skies with a marking out of front right on the 2,000.
Now, heading west out at Angeles Crest Highway is blocking the two right lanes. You're seeing heavy traffic from Berkshire Avenue in Upland on the 10 heading westbound. Just before Euclid, you'll see a car taking away the right lane, so it has slowly crawling from about 4th Street. Victorville, 15 southbound in between Roy Rogers Drive and La Mesa. All lanes shut down due to police activity, so you're seeing some heavy delays from about 8th Street. KFI in the sky helps get you there faster. I'm Pedro Moreno.
It's the mainland, West Secretary, and fill up with Catalina Island, where adventure awaits you. Whether it's an exhilarating flight on the zipline eco tour, the chance to spot a bison on the bison expedition, or catch it up with the Sunset Beach Club, there's something for everyone. Plan today at visitCatalinaIsland.com.
This report is sponsored by Audible. Find everything you love listening to on Audible. Here's celebrity memoirs, mystery, true crime, sci-fi, and more. Audible is the home of storytelling, audiobooks, podcasts, and originals. Sign up for a free 30-day trial at audible.com. I am Kyle at blinds.com, and I sell custom blinds designed for do-it-yourselfers. Unlike stock blinds offered at big box retailers, Blinds blinds are custom made for your windows and shipping is free. Don't hire an expensive pro. Do it yourself and save big at blinds.com. Starting May 7, 2025, you may need a real ID for a domestic flight. And there's never been a better time to apply than right now. Give yourself the freedom of traveling when and where you want. From sporting events and family reunions to romantic vacations or even a weekend getaway with friends. Real ID is your ticket to fly. There's no need to wait. Visit CaliforniaRealID.org today to start the online Real ID application from the comfort of home. DMV Online. Ready when you are. I'm attorney Darren Capanotti, founder of 1-800-NO-COP, reminding you to exercise your life and just shut up. It doesn't make you look guilty, it makes you look smart. 1-800-NO-COP, because no one looks good in HIPAA. Let's turn into that sort of thing. 1-800-NO-COP. Call iHeartRadio to get access to all of your favorite radio stations. The show. Check it in. All of the once-in-a lifetime. All the Are you ready? All of the free shows, playlists, live interviews, all of the big podcasts for every interest. Stuff they don't want you to know. All of the mind-blowing content. $20,000 off. All your favorite superstars. The State Government Letters. And best of all, it doesn't cost a bit. Download the absolutely free iHeartRadio app now. People for experiencing homelessness. The article online says, appear to be unhoused. Is that no good either? Appear to be unhoused. It's like you experience an asthma attack. They're not experiencing homelessness. John and Ken, I'm not enjoying the world for a moment. Live 1 to 4 p.m. on KFI. And on demand anytime on the iHeartRadio app. With Mo Kelly, and of course, we're going to talk a little bit about the birthday of this LAUSD massive strike, which is impacting at least 420,000 students. When I say at least, it depends on the pictures that you see and the website or news story that you read. And we made this distinction yesterday, and I think it bears highlighting again. There are those students who are directly and specifically speaking of LAUSD, and there are those schools, charter schools, which are aligned with LAUSD, connected to LAUSD, but they're not necessarily subject to all the rules and regulations of LAUSD. And so the number is not exact as far as the total number of students who are impacted, but we know it's safe to say that it's at least 420,000 students. Now, this massive 3-day strike is on the surface closed-ended, where it's supposed to end on Thursday. It's supposed to, but in my discussion with Chris Adler and also Paul Sharp, who's a school administrator in his own right, it is fair to say that if the negotiations don't go well on that Thursday, what I mean by on that Thursday, there is nothing to suggest that there were any negotiations today, and there's nothing to suggest from my just casual anecdotal all the people I know with the LAUSD, there's nothing to suggest that there will be negotiations tomorrow, which means that everything is going to be incumbent upon what happens Thursday and whether then the strike would be extended. Now, if we dig deeper, we know the Volvo has been very vocal and very critical of the other side at the IU Local 99, saying that he is ready to negotiate, he is ready to go to the table, whereas the other side has been saying, and I'm paraphrasing, Superintendent Carvalho, we don't need you to negotiate this in public with the media. We don't need you to talk to the media about what you're doing. We want you to sit down at the table with us. I surmised yesterday that the two sides were very far apart. And I don't think, from what I've seen, given the protests and the picket signs and the picket lines and the lack of actual negotiation at a table, I don't think that they're any closer today than they were yesterday. And if I'm right, I think part of that is by design. I think the point of the strike is to use that leverage against the school district and let them notice the absence of teachers, notice the absence of cafeteria workers, notice the absence of bus drivers, and then enter into that discussion. That's just where I sit on this. I don't know how it's going to turn out. I don't know if the school district is feeling it my terms as of yet. Maybe they need more time, but at the same time, I don't think Thursday is the last day of the strike if an agreement is not reached. Now, that doesn't mean that it will be Friday. It could be Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday of the next week. Or they could stagger it. I don't know what the long-term plan here is. And I know that people are very passionate about this on both sides of the issue. I know that there are a number of parents who are saying to the LAUSD, we need enough. They don't want to go through the strike because, if anything, some are of the opinion that the COVID learning situation was not optimal for students, but it worked out for teachers. Some parents, I can't necessarily put a number on this, but these are sentiments that I've heard. Some parents don't believe that teachers or workers or bus drivers deserve a raise at this point, much less 30%. Now, I'm not so sure that I agree with that. We went through this yesterday because I was saying, if you want someone to care for and educate and in certain ways protect their children, then you can pay them much more than minimum wage. And most of the people that we're talking about would just take above minimum wage. These are part-time jobs. These are not full-time jobs with benefits, but they are essential in many ways. And that's part of the reason why they have this strike, to demonstrate the level of essential nature. Here, how they are very important to not only the care of children, but also the education for children. And it's weird to me why it's always such a fight. And I say this is not as an impartial observer. I'm a set of two teachers, two former teachers, so I'm always going to come from the teacher side of the equation. It's just really strange to me why we have to go kicking and screaming to pay teachers and school workers in adequate ways. I'm not even talking about a living wage. You can't live
question. There are about 3,000 of us in the United States dollars, quite a large family. Certainly, we all do follow our line to Frankfurt, Germany. Pardon me, we are an Ashkenazi bloodline, but there are some people who changed their name. People also have marriages, so are we all related? Yes. But I am probably as related to you as I am to other people within the Rothschild family.
You spend a lot of time complaining and moaning. A lot of time complaining and moaning. And at the same time, trying to
appreciate it. I am the first Orthodox Jew to wear a hat in my driver's license photo. So that's kind of one of the cool things about it, that, people don't know in the state of California, you can wear a hat in your driver's license photo.
Should we really be surprised that the state wants to? Yes. They're striking. And they have lists. And it may not end on Thursday. And I understand. You don't want your kids at home. You want them in a classroom, a learning environment where they are not falling behind just a year after most likely falling behind during COVID. I don't think anyone can reasonably argue that distance learning was optimal for kids. I don't think anyone can argue that. Now, some can make the argument that it was necessary given the circumstances, but I don't think anyone would argue that it was the best for kids. So it's fair to be worried about them missing even more time, but I don't know if all of the anger in the union or about the situation is genuine and sincere. It's only because we really haven't paid that much attention to the school district, LAUSD, for quite some time. We haven't really been, in my estimation, very serious about the state of education. We talk about it in a political sense, go choice, vouchers, but we really don't talk about it in an earnest way about the quality of education. And that's what disappoints me. And so here we are, we're talking about real people, real lives, real careers, some teachers, cafeteria workers, bus drivers, who feel that this is the correct course of action to not only improve their working situation, but also improve the overall situation and standards of schools, which by extension means a better education for kids. And I don't know where this is going to go. I don't know. It's going to go as far as it needs to. I saw all the parents out there, all the cars honking and supporting, all of the teachers, all of the teacher aides, bus drivers. They were out there, and yeah, there were some parents out there supporting as well. You got to remember, as with the school district that has some, 6,000 employees, yeah, that's a lot of employees with kids as well, who also are not in school right now. Trust and believe, they feel the pinch of it because they're not at home with their kids. They're out there on the street in the rain, fighting for what they believe is a justifiable living wage increase. I know there are a lot of parent groups and a lot of folks who are like, well, what about the kids? Well, go to KFI's website right now. You can go to the Mo Kelly show page, later with Mo Kelly, and there is LAUSD Strike Help for Parents. A lot of park programs, a lot of lunch and breakfast programs. There are things for your children to do if you want to take advantage of it. But are you angry about the strike or angry because you don't have a babysitter for 6 to 8 hours a day? Which one is it? Because a lot of the complaints I'm hearing, what am I going to do with my kids? I don't hear anything about my child's education. I'm not hearing that. All I'm hearing is, what am I going to do about my kids? My day has been disrupted. So you don't care about the people who are actually servicing your kids. You just want to place for your kids to be. Because right now, LAUSD is not the top-ranked district in Southern California, but for California, period. We're not that high up there, but be like, LAUSD is all of that. You all don't actually care about LAUSD. You don't care a thing about the school district. Just want a break from your kids while you're at work. KFI's Chris Adler will join us next with her on-the-ground reporting and coverage of the LAUSD strike, day one. It's later with Mo Kelly, KFI 8340 Live everywhere in the iHeartRadio app. Now to the KFI 24-hour newsroom and Amy King.
Flooding in Huntington Beach has caused PCH to be closed in both directions between Warner Avenue and Seapoint Street, the northbound 5 off ramp to Main Street in Broadway in Santa Ana. Also blocked by flooding. A tree has fallen onto a car, killing a man in San Mateo County. He says the tree was knocked down by high winds in this latest rainstorm. National Weather Service has issued high wind warnings from San Francisco to San Diego as well as Palmdale and Pasadena in the Antelope Valley. News brought to you by Duffy Power Services. More than 215,000 people bought homes in California. 184,000 single-family homes closed as of last month. The association says lower interest rates allowed more people to buy. It says it expects more lower-range home sales, but the availability of homes remains extremely tight. It says the state's median home price went down to $735,480 for February. That's the lowest price in 2 years. Police in COD to release body cam video of a deadly shooting between an officer and a man allegedly violating a restraining order.
Here's a watcher here. A woman with 2 children reported her ex had showed up kicking her front door. She repeatedly refused to pay after him. COD Police Captain Nick Nicholas says when Michael M. turned to the front door in January and reached in his pocket, he was paid. He became the cycle terminated, at which time Mr. M. entered into Black Kingdom. At that time, and after about 2 days Nicholas says M had a pointed metal weapon, 3 knives, a loaded gun, and 6 shell casings were found nearby. In Orange County, Corbin Carson, KFI News.
Ukraine's military intelligence has reported what appeared to be an attack on Russian cruise missiles being moved into the occupied and illegally annexed Crimean Peninsula. The region's governor, appointed by Russia, also reported an attack last night that didn't mention cruise missiles as the target.
The Ukrainians are claiming that they used these drones to hit Russian cruise missiles, a stock of Russian cruise missiles on a railway.
ABC's Tom Perez says officials are not confirming if Russian missiles were hit in the attack, but Ukraine's military posted on its website saying the missiles were destroyed in an explosion. It says it is continuing the process of Russia's demilitarization in Crimea. A Winnie the Pooh slasher movie has been pulled from theaters in Hong Kong. The film's distributor announced on Facebook the release of Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey has been canceled with great regret. The movie was set to be shown in about 30 movie theaters in Hong Kong. A few years ago, China banned screening of Disney's Christopher Robin, which was a sequel to the Winnie the Pooh stories. There is speculation it's because Winnie the Pooh has become a symbol of anti-government groups. Southline weather from KFI, rain overnight with gusty winds, especially in the Antelope Valley, up to 60-mile-an-hour gusts are expected. Showers with thunderstorms possible early tomorrow, then showers for the afternoon, highs in the 50s. Will dry out by tomorrow night with cloudy skies on Thursday, then sunny Friday and through the weekend with highs in the 50s and 60s.
It's life. Justice for you since 1972. Hey, y'all, it's Dean Sharp. If you are ready for that new dream kitchen now, because the best place for kitchen cabinets in all of Southern, the Kitchen Store, is having its massive winter sale. Everything from conventional entry-level cabinets to literally any custom configuration imaginable, the Kitchen Store has got you covered. Imagine just one place to find every door, color, finish, storage option, hinge, and hardware accessories on the market. You'll find it all and more in Southern California's largest kitchen design showroom, waiting for you right off the 405 in Culver City. And as always, it all starts with a totally free in-showroom consult with one of the Kitchen Store's expert kitchen designers. 12-month famous cash financing, pricing that beats the big boxes, and happening right now, the huge winter sale. To start the new kitchen right by dialing 310 Kitchen, that's 310 Kitchen, or find them on the web at 310kitchen.com. Looking to sell your valuable coins, high-end jewelry, collectibles, or fine art? Meet Cindy. You've been around the block when it comes to buying and selling jewelry.
I buy jewelry to resell. I've been going to tangible for about 6-7 years.
Tangible just stays more.
Here's a great example of the tangible difference. I bought a gold and sapphire bracelet. I shopped it around. They offered me 50. They offered me 100. I bought it to tangible, and it would be $475 for it.
More cash, more respect.
Tangible suits me as well as would be the person coming in with, $10,000 worth of gold.
Tangible investment owner Phil DeGenova has become America's top dealer in coins, precious metals, jewelry, and fine art. Phil guarantees you'll get more.
Everything I've heard about them on the radio is true.
Call now for a no-obligation free professional appraisal. 800-711-2800. 800-711-2800. 800-711-2800. official rules and more information about context on this station, go to KFIAM640.com/rules. KFI, answer choice.
And iHeartRadio station. More stimulating talk.
KFI AM 640 is later with Mo Kelly. We're live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. As we continue to follow the LAUSD strike, it's day one, negotiations and fallout. We now turn to KFI's own Chris Adler, who has been covering this story all day long, actually for days now, from an up-close perspective. Chris, it's good to talk to you again this evening. How are you feeling about today's event?
Well, Mo, it's been very interesting to see the dedication of these teachers and workers out there in the rain today, in the puddle, with their picket signs and with children, a lot of this is to show my kids that workers' rights are human rights and you have to fight for yours.
Day one of the strike is in the books, and from what I've seen as far as news coverage, no pun intended about being in the books, but protesters were out in good numbers. I'm sure they were seen. I'm sure they were even heard, despite the weather. But did they move the needle in any measurable way, from what you could tell?
At this point, no. Alberto Carvalho, the LA Unified District Superintendent, has maintained his stance that he is an open book, wants to discuss, wants to have conversations with the union, is ready, as he puts it, around the clock. And those discussions did not happen today. So as of right now, we're still striking tomorrow, and that's what it looks like.
We're hearing from the superintendent, of course, and his, I would say, openness to negotiations, but I'm not hearing, as someone who works in the media, I'm not hearing from the leadership of the protesters. Have they released any statement? Have they said anything in respect to what the superintendent has said thus far about negotiations?
Well, what I can tell you is being out there and with the protesters and with many of the leaders, they're saying that Carvalho had over 10 months to make these talks happen, to negotiate. And they're saying only now is he calling on them to come to the table when they've been trying to do this for almost a year. And so they're set up, and basically the tone, Mo, is, you know what, we've been trying to do this for far too long, and we're ready to strike now. Because it's not just about the raises and the money. They are striking because of what they call blatant disrespect by the district. And on Friday, Superintendent Alberto Carvalho made them an offer publicly. They said, no, we don't want to negotiate publicly. That is another act of disrespect. And then they were supposed to have a conversation privately. He made that public, and they said, okay, you know what, this is the second time that he put this out there in the public instead of negotiating with us at a table directly with the leaders. And we feel that he is making these offers in bad faith.
If I follow what you're saying, there would be then no public acknowledgement by at least the union leadership of any conversations or negotiations at this point. It's only because they don't want to argue this in the press. Is that a fair read?
I think what it comes down to is they want to have these conversations privately because there are a lot of different facets to their request and their demand that they don't want to have it on a public platform just yet. But once it is decided upon, they will make it public. And I think that comes from what I'm hearing, comes from a place of respect where they feel that they've been disrespected. A lot of them are claiming that their jobs were threatened, that positions were going to be filled because they were going to go on strike. There was a lot of retaliation and harassment by the district, according to the union workers. And they're saying, show us some respect. And in doing so, that would mean having these private conversations. At least you can give us that is what they're saying.
Dipping into the protest that you saw earlier today, there were obviously picket signs, there were people chanting, but give us a view of what you saw and what you heard earlier today.
I was all over the county today, different high schools and elementary schools. I was in Southgate at CD Elementary where I spoke with a fourth grade teacher. She's been in the district for decades, and she was there during the strike in 2019. She says that, there's a lot of talk about animosity between the district and the union, and she said, no, it's not animosity, it's workers' rights. She says, we need a livable working wage where we can pay our workers, and she's a teacher. So she's with UCLA. Now, SEIU Local 99, they're the union on strike. So UCLA was out in solidarity because these are the teachers who are working alongside these workers who are striking. And they're saying, especially in the special ed classes, our assistants are so vital and important. They're so important to the care and the education for these children, especially the ones with special needs, that without these assistants who are on strike now, UCLA really doesn't have a class. These teachers don't have classes. That's why they won't cross the ticket line with them, and they won't go over those ticket lines. They're walking in solidarity. And I spoke with another teacher at Legacy High School in Southgate. She's a history teacher. She said, I have to teach my kids that you have to fight for yours. And she said it's been far too long. It's gone without funding. They need funding in the schools. The schools are understaffed. They're not paying. They need custodians. And so really, they're all just they're so set up with the district right now, Mom.
Before I let you go, I'm curious though, was there any type of what I would term as counter-protester presence, maybe parents who are vocalizing their views, which may have been in opposition to the people who are on strike right now?
What a great question. And I was wondering that myself. I was looking for that. That's why I went to several different locations. I wanted to hear other voices and in opposition. But you know what, Mo? I didn't see a single thread of that. Not one bit out there on the picket line.
And there you have it. We'll continue to follow this. KFI's own Chris Adler is on. And Chris, thank you so much for coming on this evening. And I'm sure we will be back in touch with you as this strike progresses.
Thanks so much for following, Mo.
It's later with Mo Kelly. Keep it right here. KFI AM 640 live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. Now let's go over to 82, the KFI 24-hour newsroom.
Those been following through the grapevine, and the PSC has begun escorting motorists along the 5 freeway. A winter storm warning is up until tomorrow night at 11 in San Gabriel Mountains and along the 5 and 14 corridors with 2 to 5 feet of snow expected above 6,000 feet. With 1 day of a 3-day strike done, LA School Superintendent Alberto Cavallo said he's ready to meet any time, day or night, to restart negotiations with the union representing about 35,000 janitors, bus drivers, assistants, and other district workers who will participate in a 3-day strike. At least 9 people have been killed and dozens were injured in a 6.5 magnitude earthquake that hit Pakistan and Afghanistan. The quake that sent panicked residents running out of their homes and offices was felt as far away as bordering Tajikistan. Rain tonight and tomorrow, possibly thunderstorms, highs in the 50s. We'll see snow in a higher elevation. This report brought to you by El Monte RV. From the Southern California Toyota Dealer Traffic Center, let's go places. This is traffic in Glendale on the 134.
That's heading westbound just after the 2. It's blocking the 2 right lanes, so your drive stacks up right around Colorado Boulevard. Big potholes causing some big problems on the 58 eastbound in Diamond Bar has just before Phillips Ranch Road, so watch for delays as you come away from Grand Avenue. And if you're on the 10 heading westbound in Loma Linda before Anderson Street, the back there is blocking the right lane that's causing some slowing from California Street. KFI in the Sky helps get you there faster. I'm Pedro Moreno. Get ready to spring into warmer weather with our Monty RV Spring Special. We're doing that open road adventure by March 31st and take 10% off of your nightly rate and receive 200 miles for travel between now and May 13th. The promo code is 2022. For more information, visit MontyRV.com or call 800-337-2149. This report is sponsored by Limester. Hi, I'm Kyle at Limester.com, and I sell custom blinds designed for do-it-yourselfers. Unlike stock blinds offered at big box retailers, blinds providers are custom-made for your since it's pros. Do-it-yourself and save big at blinds. Have you been injured in an accident? Morgan and Morgan will fight to get you more. We are America's largest injury law firm, and that means more than 800 lawyers, more offices nationwide, and more than $16 billion in coverage for our clients. You deserve more, and we at Morgan & Morgan are ready to fight for more. Don't wait. Dial Pound Law or visit forthepeople.com right now for an office near you. Hey, there's a better way to fly. You're probably fed up with being stuck in endless lines and packed planes. Try simplifying your travel with Surfair. As a Surfair member, you'll save an average of 2 hours on every flight and completely avoid busy airports. You can choose from thousands of aircraft and arrive at smaller airports closer to your home, all while flying on your own schedule. Surfair.com, the best alternative to commercial air travel. There's a better way to fly. Surfair.com. This is for all of our listeners who are understandably struggling with hair loss. Conway here. Now, I'm sure you've tried lotions, pills, creams, and potions, right? There's so many options out there. Who are you going to try? What's really going to grow your hair back? The groundbreaking FUE treatment for advanced hair is an incredible breakthrough. Receding hairline, thinning hair, bald spots, advanced hair is simple, quick, one-day treatment, and your own natural hair growing back the very next day. Advanced hair is the best of the best, and your commitment to the highest standard of care has and always will exceed the CDC guidelines. I've had the treatment, and I know that reversing hair loss is truly life-changing. You deserve to know what this feels like. The first 10 callers get $250 off and 250 free hair grafts. Call 844-333-HAIR. Locations in Beverly Hills, Orange County, and Ontario. One-day treatment, life-changing results. Your new hair is 100% guaranteed to grow. 844-333-HAIR. Or go to advancedhair.com.
Why would a plumber just tell me what it costs to unclog my drain over the phone? Is it that complicated?
No, it's not. They obviously have a price.
You've got a nice aroma. Who are you?
Mike Diamond, the Snowbird Plumber.
Did you tell me how much to unclog my drain?
$99. Doesn't matter if it's a kitchen sink or a mainline sewer stopper. The Snowbird Plumbers at Mike Diamond will unclog almost any drain for $99. There are a few exceptions, but you can read all about them on our website at snowgoodplumber.com. Contact your license number 39917.
Join us to celebrate the songs and artists you've loved over the past year.
At our 2023 iHeartRadio Music Awards.
Hosted by Lenny Travis.
With individual award recipients Taylor Swift.
And performances by iHeart Award recipient Kate, Coldplay, Kelly Clarkson, LL Cool J, Keith Urban, Pat Benatar, Emil Giraldo, Lotto, Money Long, Cody Johnson, and more.
Watch on Spotify and listen on iHeartRadio.
Monday night at 8 p.m.
And now, a few words from your dog.
Hey, it's Jennifer Jones. Will you join me and my team of Wake Up Girl Wigglers at Brookside Park in Pasadena Sunday, April 2nd for Pasadena Humane's Wiggle Waggle Walk to raise funds to help them care for hundreds of animals with to donate or join our team and walk with us, go to KFIAM640.com/wiggle.
5 a.m. this morning or stimulating talk. It's later with Motel KFI AM 640 live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. Of course, we are watching the storm to let you know where that is progressing and how it is continuing to to really just beat down on much of the Southland from the rain, the wind, the cold. In fact, if you go to my Instagram, at Mr. Moselli, I posted last night, it was around midnight, and I wanted to check the weather for the next 10 hours. I don't remember ever seeing a weather forecast where it said 100% chance of rain. But for this morning, it said 100% chance of rain. There's no way around it. It's just that. It's not chance. It's just going to rain. It should have just said, you know what? Well, it's going to rain all morning. Yeah. Which it did, but I've just never seen 100% chance of rain. But it has been raining. As a matter of fact, I don't know Maybe, I don't know if this was true in your area because we're in vastly different areas, but in my area, around 11:30, 12 p.m. today, the sun came out and it was bright for a while, for about maybe an hour, hour and a half. Yes.
I don't know that I had a lot of sun, but we definitely had a break in the rain between torrential downpours.
Yeah, we had actual sun and it dried up for a while.
Wow.
Well, what about you? No, we rained off.
That's right.
Well, we had a brief respite.
We're going to do another respite starting late tomorrow, and then you're going to get sun all the way through the week.
Hallelujah. Wait a minute. And then rain after the sun, you think?
Probably. No, actually, you know what? I was just looking because God's opening day is next Thursday, and so we were checking the forecast this afternoon. And it's supposed to be sunny all night.
Okay. We could always hope. Something else that I hope does not happen as opposed to hoping it does not rain. There's this proposed California bill, which, if it's passed, could ban the sale of, get this, Skittles, hot tamales, candy, that is, double bubble crisp gum, and all other food items containing certain quote-unquote dangerous and toxic chemicals. Now, this bill is introduced by Assemblyman Jesse Gabriel, who is a Democrat from Woodland Hills, and 8418 proposes that California stop manufacturing, selling, or distributing food that contains certain harmful food additives. Specifically, red dye number 3, titanium dioxide, potassium bromate, brominated vegetable oil. That's what I cook my food in. Actually, you do. You do. And propyl paraben. Now, yeah, I'm like you. I don't recognize most of those chemicals by name, but they can be found in popular food and drink items. For example, according to experts, titanium dioxide can be found in cupcakes, trail mix, and ice cream.
But they're not banning the trail mix.
No, they're not. And I think it may be coming down to, well, let me come back to that. Let me say this. Propyl parabens can be found in caramel chocolate. Quote, Californians shouldn't have to worry that the food they buy in their neighborhood grocery store might be full of dangerous additives or toxic chemicals, according to Assemblyman Gabriel.
You're going to have to ban everything.
Well, that's my thinking was, just ban food. Just make it where we have to drink water, that's it. That's about the only way you can really do it.
There's natural chemicals in the water. Huh? Don't watch for the commercial side.
Touche. Went on, this bill will correct for a concerning lack of federal oversight and help protect our kids, public health, and the safety of our food supply.
That's ridiculous. You can ban Skittles. I don't like that. But hot tamales,
the rainbow.
No, I don't like them. I don't like them at all. But hot tamales, I haven't had them in 5 years.
This to me is a quintessential example of slippery slope. If we want to talk about dangerous and toxic chemicals in food, we would have to literally ban just about every food which is processed. And about every single one.
And a lot of the ones that aren't processed.
Well, pesticides, yes, even on our food, or GMOs, yes. We could be here all year and not get to the bottom of all the dangerous chemicals and toxic chemicals that can be found in our food. Now, unfortunately, this is also another example of government for the sake of just government. I don't think this helps anyone. I don't think this protects anyone. I don't think this does anything for anyone. I think we'd be better to have just better health education to know in terms of dietary needs what's good for you and not good for you. I don't eat hot tamales because, I don't like them. I don't like them, but I don't eat them because I know that they're very unhealthy for me.
No, they're not. They're just sugar.
But I don't think anyone can do that. Skittles or hot tamales or anything with bromide, cocoa or whatever other crazy. I don't think anyone is eating these things thinking to themselves, this is part of a balance. No one is saying, you know what? I did not have my Skittles this morning. How am I going to make it through the day? My diet.
No, you get my recommended daily allowance of Skittles.
No. And I know they want, ostensibly, they're trying to say we're protecting our children. That's what they're saying, but lies. Look, that's going to be up to parents. Okay, if I didn't didn't have sodas at home. In other words, I didn't grow up drinking a lot of soda because there wasn't a lot of soda at home. I think that's just more the responsibility of parents or parents. It's not the government, and not the government saying we're going to pick up where the federal government leaves off. I've seen that. If I don't eat Skittles, then that's just my choice. If I choose to eat Skittles and titanium dioxide, red dye number 3, potassium bromate, whatever, as long as it's on the label, then the company's done its due diligence. That's just it. Yes.
Wasn't like red dye number 5 years and years ago, but it really was cancer causing advance.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's why they got rid of red M&Ms for a while, or something like that.
And then they found a new chemical, probably the
Red dye number 3.
Yes. And to your point, anything you're talking about how there's like so much sugar in these products. Well, they took out the sugar and then we got aspartame or all these other sugar substitutes which are causing cancer, which are worse than the actual sugar itself. So I don't think it really matters at this point. This is just political grandstanding in the classic sense where you're not actually solving any problems and you're not actually helping anyone. You're just putting this bill out there to say that you're on the side of children, allegedly. When honestly, you're not actually helping anyone. You're just, making a bill which is not going to necessarily go anywhere and it's not actually going to do anything. If anything, from an economic sense, it's going to have a negative impact. When you start taking out all these products which are not going to be sold anymore, because the companies are not going to stop selling them. They're not going to stop. You're not going to stop making them because California says we don't want to have your Skittles anymore. It's hard with most of it. If tomorrow we'll find out that something else causes cancer, like air, it does. Say about age reporting, we're live everywhere. That's not funny, anything. It's not funny.
Who's laughing?
We're live everywhere. The iHeartRadio app. No country smart speaker. Google. Just tell it what to play. Okay, Google. What's nearby AF640?
KSI.
KOST HD2.
Los Angeles, Orange County.
Live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app.
On the picket line and in the ring. I'm ABCing live from the KSI 24-hour newsroom.
We are on strike today. We got this workers. Let's go.
Tens of thousands of workers in the LA School District have walked off the job over stalled contract talks. The workers are joined by teachers in the first day of a 3-day strike to shut down the nation's second largest school system.
After nearly a year of bargaining, LAUSD has refused to offer wages that raise workers above the poverty line.
The Service Employees International Union's Matt Daria says the district broke a confidentiality agreement and told the LA Times about a deal before union members even had a chance to talk about it or consider it. The district has hundreds of thousands of students from LA and other cities in unincorporated counties. A teacher in Menifee's been arrested for involuntary, a teenager, not a teacher, has been arrested for involuntary manslaughter in the death of another teen who was accidentally shot while a group was playing with a gun. Officials say police responded to Washington Road Sunday where 4 teenagers had been playing with the gun. Investigators say the teens didn't think it was loaded. They say one of them pulled the trigger and accidentally shot another one, killing him. Police say the teens then called for help and remained at the scene. A man's been charged with killing his ex-girlfriend in Anaheim.
All DAs that use deep fake technology. Anaheim police say Aaron Romo was out on bail on a separate domestic violence case when he allegedly killed his ex. The body of the 24-year-old woman, investigators say Romo had previously dated, was found in an apartment on Friday. Charges today include murder with a sentencing enhancement of committing an offense while out of custody on another case. Romo posted $100,000 on that domestic violence case, where he is charged with felony corporal injury on a spouse or cohabitant and false imprisonment, as well as misdemeanor resisting arrest and battery. In Anaheim, Corbin Carson, KFI.
The LA City Council is taking action to try to stop the skyrocketing theft of catalytic converters. Councilman John Lee and Paul Krikorian introduced a motion that would require people in possession of an unattached converter to show proof it belongs to them. People could get fined $1,000 or spend 6 months in jail if guilty. Just under 1,000 catalytic converters were reported stolen across the city in 2018. By 2022, that number was up to 8,000 thefts. Japan's prime minister is made a surprise visit to Kyiv to meet with Ukrainian President Zelensky. The Japanese Foreign Ministry says the Prime Minister is there to show respect to the courage and patience of the Ukrainian people who are standing up to defend their homeland and to show solidarity and unwavering support for Ukraine. TikTok has updated its rules and standards for content as its CEO warns against a possible ban on the video sharing app in the U.S. Among the changes are additional details about its restrictions on deepfake, also known as synthetic media created by artificial intelligence technology.
All videos that use deepfake technology must be clearly labeled. Deepfaking any real private figure is prohibited.
ABC Mike Rabbi says TikTok CEO is set to answer questions on Capitol Hill Thursday. The CEO says the hearing comes at a pivotal moment for the company. He says more than 150 million people in the U.S. use TikTok. California's favorite Easter candy is the Cadbury Mini Egg. The crunchy candy-coated chocolate is the Golden State top choice when it comes to Easter candy, followed by the foil-wrapped chocolate egg. CandyStore.com used 15 years of sales data to come up with a list of top Easter candies in states across the country. The company also listed the worst Easter candies: jelly beans, Cheetos cinnamon puffs, that's candy, buttercorn chips, and the number one worst Easter candy is the Cadbury Cream Egg. Jennifer Jones-Lee, KFI News. Well, it's not the worst. Southland weather from KFI, gusty winds and rain tonight, lows in the 30s and 40s. Up to 6 inches of snow is possible in the Antelope Valley, and winds are expected to gust up to about 60 miles per hour. Showers with a slight chance of thunderstorms tomorrow morning, then rain off and on for the afternoon. Snow possible in higher elevations, highs between the 40s and 50s. To dry out by Thursday with highs in the low 60s. Sunny Friday, Saturday, and Sunday with highs from 50s to mid 60s. It's 53 in Brea, 51 Lake Forest, 52 in Marina Del Rey, 49 in Burbank. That's Francine Glendale on the 134.
That's heading westbound before the 2. It's blocking the 3 right lanes. Your drive backs up once you get to about Colorado Boulevard. Mid-City 10 westbound before La Brea. A crash there blocking the 2 right lanes, causing some stop-and-go delays from Fairfax. And some good news in Loma Linda on the 10 westbound. Just before Anderson, a crash has been cleared from lanes there. The driver is recovering from about Mountain View. KFI in the Sky helps get you there faster. I'm Pedro Moreno. If you've been thinking about calling Advanced Hair Restoration, do yourself a favor and simply schedule your free consultation today. Find out if your bald spot, receding hairline, or thinning hair is in fact optional. Imagine the relief just knowing that a full head of hair is a real possibility. Advanced Hair's one-day treatment is virtually pain-free, and your new hair starts growing back the very next day. It worked for me, and dozens of our listeners have thanked me personally for inspiring them to take control. Advanced Hair's exceptional standard of care also makes this the perfect time to pursue your needs. Do yourself a favor and schedule your free consultation right now. If you choose to move forward, you're also going to receive $250 off and 250 free hair grafts. That's huge. Call 844-33-FREE-HAIR. Scheduling a consultation is literally the hardest part. Advanced Hair successfully restored my bald spot, and they even guarantee that your new hair will also grow. 844-33-FREE-HAIR or advancedhair.com. Stone, where language is learned. ROTHSCHILD.com. More stimulating talk.
And I have radio station.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for movies. It's time for music. It's time for Mo Kelly. It's later with Mo Kelly KFI AM 640. We're live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. Some stories we're continuing to follow. EPA exposure in Huntington Beach due to flooding. Debris cleanup continues in Dana Point. A second sinkhole has opened up at the La Habra apartment complex amid legal wrangling over the first one. And the Queen Mary is inching closer to reopening in Long Beach. And as customary on Tuesday evenings, I'm joined by Chris Woolsey, Senior Director of Communications for Chicken Soup for the Soul Entertainment. That's Crackle, that's Redbox, and look, let me just first say thank you for the dog food. My pleasure. Last week we were talking about, did I say this on air or maybe just put it on air? I was saying I was at home and I was looking at some of the dog food that my wife had purchased, and it said chicken soup for the all art. I thought it's just a thing to get people the soul that we've been talking about on Later with Mo Kelly regarding Redbox and Crackle. And sure enough, it is. And I said, I didn't know that there was such a connection. And you were nice enough, kind enough to bring some dog food for Riley and Vincent. Thank you very much, sir. You're very welcome. The least I could do is be your furry friend. Well, I appreciate that, but it's not about them, okay? It's not always about them, but it is about you. In terms of what you have coming this week, I should say what you have featured this week. Let's start with Redbox this week. Sure, why not? And you have some what are called hidden celebrity gems on Redbox. Maybe they're not the most high-profile movies of these very famous actors or actresses, but because they are in it, you know that they are quality in entertainment. Like, for example, The Magic of Belle Isle with Morgan Freeman. Yes, super cute, family film. Morgan Freeman plays this, like, world-famous author whose health is in decline. He goes back to Belle Isle to kind of recuperate, but he really just, he's going back, he thinks the last laugh, And come to find out he meets Virginia Madsen from Sideways, and Kenan Thompson from SNL, obviously, and kind of learns that, maybe there's more to life than just what he thought was super important. It's a beautiful film. Of course, Morgan Freeman is unbelievable in it, and I think you should check this one out. It's really good. One of my favorite actors who I don't think gets as much credit as he deserves. I mean, he's increasingly garnered acclaim over the years. I'm saying for the totality of his career, is Matt Nicholson. Oh, thank you. So I watched the movie so much. Oh, absolutely. He's just watchable. Yeah, for sure. Well, this one is really cool. So this is actually it's a Danish movie with English subtitles, and it's called The Hunt. And he plays this like very mild-mannered, kind elementary school teacher, and he gets charges lobbied at him that are not true. And you just watch his life slowly evolve. And it's interesting because I think the film really speaks on cancel culture, and yet this was made in 2012. It was really prescient, and they're not really making any kind of political statement with the film. It's just the story of this guy's life completely coming apart at the seams. It's so funny because, not funny, but funny, because I think of Matt Nicholson and all the English speaking roles that he's done, and I've never seen him act in his native Danish language. Yeah, it's really intense. And I really talked about it before. I love foreign films. But this one, the performances are across the board. Everybody, of course, he's brilliant as always. But I definitely think that if you like intense movies where you are watching somebody sitting wrong, it's going to be intense. It's going to be intense. Absolutely. Okay, Jesse Eisenberg is another one of those guys where he may not be the classic leading man, but if he's in it, you know it's probably quality. Yes, definitely. He does not do a lot of TV level projects for sure. Well, this one is really weird. So it's called The Double, and it's based on the novel, the Dostoevsky novel by the same name. And it was written and directed by Richard, I'm going to mispronounce this, but Ayoade. We'll go with that. Okay, sure. Well, you might know him if you ever saw the IT Crowd. He's the guy with the crazy hair. It's about IT professionals, and it's hysterical. It was a British series, and I don't even know what to compare it to, but it's about guys who are IT professionals in this huge company, and just sort of the difference between IT people and normal human beings, and it's hysterical. But he was one of the lead IT guys, and he wrote and directed the film. It's just really, it's like Tim Burton and the Coen brothers had a baby, and this film is that product. Well, super weird. I'm trying to get past Tim Burton and the Coen brothers actually Heavy baby. I'll explain it off air. It'll get very complicated, but yeah. I wasn't sure about that. I'm going to give you a lot of time to be able to digest that. And before we go to break, someone who is very popular because of his time in the office, and he's becoming more and more popular because he theorized the possibility of Reed Richards within the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Johnson, of course. Oh, yeah. And you have something regarding him as well. We do. So we've got a movie called Nobody Walks, and this is, I feel like this was like a kind of a throwback to those 70s films that were all about kind of the complexity of marriage. Um, it's spectacular. So he plays this very well-off Hollywood sound engineer, and this young woman, and his wife's prompting, this young woman comes to their home. He starts helping her with this independent film that she's making, again, as his wife's request. And their relationship, okay, yeah. The girl is even bigger, when you learn the girl is Olivia Thirlby, who is from the series Goliath. She's beautiful, and if I was John Krasinski's wife, I never would have let her in the house to fly. It's really, really intense. Again, these are a lot of intense selections, but the performances are phenomenal. Just on the happiness of marriage and how you really have to fight to protect your marriage, even for yourself. Well, you gave me a lot for me to chew on because I try to take all of your suggestions to heart. So I know I'm going to get the Magnificent The Hunt, and definitely going to get The Double by Jesse Eisenberg, and then we'll go from there. But, you know, getting a good start. Those are my two things. Okay, well, those are good choices. All right, and I'm all for good start. Absolutely. All right, so on the other side, let's talk about Crackle, and I know you have some selections there, as well as let's talk about the book that you also brought this evening, which is going to be given away on Friday as a part of doing that movie called Classic. Beautiful. It's great with Vogue Kelly, KFI 8640. We're live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app now. Let's go to the KFI 24-hour newsroom and Amy Daly.
Striking instructional aid. So he worked for the LA School District for 2 decades and now only makes $16 an hour. She says the district can't even hire people anymore because they can make work starting at her 13. About 30,000 union district workers will be striking again tomorrow for better wages and working conditions. A 31-year-old man's been arrested for allegedly beating a man unconscious and robbing him in San Fernando. Police said the guy violently attacked a 69-year-old man Friday. Police tried to stop the guy from grabbing a bag out of his hand. Martina Navratilova has returned to TV work at the Tennis Channel less than 3 months after she announced she had throat and breast cancer. She says she is now cancer-free and should be good to go after she gets some additional radiation treatment. We'll take the 405 next.
You know, I'm going to try this one more time, and hopefully Taylor won't laugh at me when I say that I'm trying to get my sexy back as well as my health. Erin is alcoholic. She's laughing as well. We're talking about Field of Greens. Most of those other supplements, they use extracts of fruits and vegetables. But when you take them, you're not getting much in the way of vitamins and minerals. I take Field of Greens because it's the whole organic fruit and vegetable, not a watered-down extract. Got it? Now, I don't eat as healthy as I should. I can admit that. I'm self-aware. But that's where Field of Greens comes in. Each ingredient in Field of Greens was scientifically chosen to support vital organs like heart, lungs, and kidney health. Others support body immune system, blood pressure, metabolism, and healthy weight loss. I'm getting my sexy back no matter what. Field of Greens is backed by its Better Health Promise. If your doctor doesn't tell you your numbers have improved at your next checkup, well, you get a full refund. How about that? You got nothing to do. So let me get you started with 15% off your first order at fieldofgreens.com. Just use the promo code KFI. Remember, that's promo code KFI at fieldofgreens.com.
Rain and gusty winds overnight. Rain tomorrow. Highs in the 50s. Snow in the higher elevations. Rain should end by late tomorrow. At Cranston Carson on the 405.
Listen northbound before Carson Street is blocking the 2 right lanes, so your drive starts to jam up right around Wilmington Avenue. Glendale 134 westbound before the 2 are still blocking the 3 right lanes there with a heavy ride as you approach Colorado Boulevard. And you'll see some slowing in Hollywood on the 101 southbound once you get to Vermont Avenue. It'll start to clear up for you as you approach the 110. KFI in the sky helps get you there faster. I'm Pedro Moreno. This report is sponsored by Unbound.org. Right now, there are young people across the world facing a tough choice. Continue their dream of education or secret cabal of the most powerful folks in the United States told you, hey, let's start a coup. Back in the 1930s, a man named Stephen Butler was all that stood between the U.S. and Japanese. I'm Ben Bolin. I'm Alistair. And I'm Smedley Butler. Join us for this sordid tale of ambition, treason, and what happens when evil tycoons have too much time on their hands. Listen to Let's Start a Coup on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you find your favorite show. Keep scores! You just can't miss watching college ball in Toronto. Now you've got reasons to get to the leader.
It's utterly total madness. From 16 to 8 to 4. You can watch every score, every racer, each game and play.
And the number one reason.
Ray Guy gift giveaway. Get a slam and sandwich maker when you earn 500 points on your reward card. The 27th or 28th.
Toronto, good time. If you have friends or family members that live on base or need frequent access to federal facilities, getting a real ID should be on your to-do list. Starting May 7, 2025, you'll need a federally accepted form of identification such as a real ID to access military bases, enter federal buildings, and board domestic flights. And by going online, you can conveniently start the real ID application process anytime and anywhere you like. Don't miss out on visiting your friends and loved ones in uniform. Start your real ID application online today at realid.dmv.ca.gov.
It's the perfect time for that new green kitchen because the kitchen store is having its big fall sale. Find the best place for kitchen cabinets in all of SoCal and the big fall sale by dialing 310 Kitchen, 310 Kitchen, and on the web, 310kitchen.com.
At Jacoby & Myers, our 5-star reviews attest to our commitment to excellence and our success in delivering life-changing results for our clients. 50-plus years of experience, $1 billion in settlements, and voted #1 for 4 years in a row. Our team's expertise is unmatched. Call Jacoby & Myers. Justice for you since 1972. The IHC transmission fluid.
Seriously? Yours is just a break.
We all know how it gets to you. You go to the wrong place for car repair. I can't believe it. Check engine light is on again. So don't risk it. Take your car to the experts at AMCO. AA, MCO. Check engine light on? We'll check it for free. Restrictions, limitations, and exclusions may apply. See AMCO.com for those details.
And now for today's Roblox Winter Weather Alert. iHeartland and Roblox is launched by a winter snowstorm. It is a winter wonderland. It's State Farm Park. It's State Farm neighborhood. You can see snowball fights, grab a hot cocoa and cookies, and more. There's also special events from your favorite artists and podcasters all month, along with scavenger hunts, exclusive content, and unique items. So enjoy the best of winter weather at iHeartland on Roblox. Head to iHeartRadio.com/iHeartland today.
Fun news is following the storm that is impacting parts of Southern California. Here is the latest from the National Weather Service.
On the elevator, prison teacher, Singapore, New York City, yeah. I swear to God, I'm never falling in love. Every time I say nothing good and nothing good. I swear to God, I never fall in love. I never fall in love with nothing good and nothing. Cause I love my body.
You know what percentage Americans have a double digit IQ? 50%. 25% are under 90. That's what you're dealing with in government. You're dealing with everybody with a little extra IQ. John and Cat, that's why government needs to happen. Live 1 to 4 p.m. on CFI. And on demand anytime on the iHeartRadio app. Welcome to Grow on the Movie. No be ridiculous, darling. It's Grow on the Movie. Jonathan. It's later with most of them. KFI AM 640. We're live everywhere. On the iHeartRadio app, some of the large stories that we're following right now from the 24-hour KFI newsroom. Nearly 150,000 people are still without power as this intense atmospheric river continues to flow over Southern California. And also, that second sinkhole, well, the different sinkhole, but the second sinkhole at the same location as the first sinkhole in La Habra. I will have more information about that, but right now I am joined in the studio by Christopher Wolfe, who's Senior Director of Communications at City for the Soul Entertainment. Last segment, Christopher, we were talking talking about Redbox. Now let's talk about Crackle and what you have for us this particular week. You always have great stuff. So I don't know where to start, so I'll let you decide. Okay, fair enough. So we talked about how Crackle kind of sets itself apart. They've got originals that you can only watch on Crackle. They've got exclusives that you can only see for free on Crackle. All right. I kind of want to focus on that today. So we talked about before Sherlock. Yeah. Okay. So just in case any of your audience wasn't there the first time, we are the only location that you can watch Sherlock unless you buy the actual DVD. So all 4 seasons, Benedict Cumberbatch and Martin Freeman, amazing series. You can watch all 4 seasons. We watch a special Christmas episode on Crackle, but we have other amazing exclusives as well. Startup was a Crackle original series, and yeah, so that was us. And so this awesome series about cryptocurrency and this young startup company that comes up with this idea for a crypto, but in order to get the company off the ground, they kind of fudge a little bit with the funding, and it ends up the funding is coming from super nefarious sources. You mean like life imitating art? Yeah, I didn't want to go there, but I'm not going to argue with you. That's for sure. And it stars Adam Brody, who is superhero Freddy from the Shazam franchise. Martin Freeman, again, from Sherlock, who plays an amazing corrupt FBI agent. I understand you say from Sherlock, but most people may know, listening to this program, Martin Freeman from the Marvel Cinematic Universe. This is true, from Black Panther or the Wakanda Trail. I want to put that out there. And Benedict Cumberbatch is a fantastic actor. I got to give him his due, but he's Doctor Strange around here. But you didn't get anybody in that. What's going on? My God. Just have to throw that out there. Go ahead. Okay. As well as Ron Perlman from Hellboy. Yeah, not part of the MCU, but still the comic book universe. Yes. And we have all 3 seasons. It's a fantastic series. It's one of my favorite things on Crackle. But yeah, startup, check it out. If you like intrigue and you like the startup world, it's great. But one of my favorites, and probably something that you've never seen and you should check out, especially if you do like the foreign films. This is a foreign TV series called The Wall. And this is have not seen it. Does not ring a bell. Okay, it's great. So this is a French-Canadian crime thriller. And season 1 takes place in this made-up town called Vermont, which is in northeastern Quebec. So it's just below the Arctic Circle. And it's this hamlet, this village that's so cold that they have to build a wall around the town to keep the elements out. And that's fine, it keeps them safe, but it also traps them in when they find out that there's a serial killer in the town. Oh, I thought you were trying to make an immigration joke. I'm sorry. It will build that wall. It stars Isabel Richter, and if you watch French Canadian TV, you would know her because she's on everything. Question, seriously, you know, is it French with subtitles or is it English? It is French with English subtitles. But man, it was intense. And season 1 and season 2 take place in 2 different cities, 2 different crimes. Same lead actress as this detective, and she is hard as nails. It's super intense. Like, in my opinion, it's better than any crime procedural on TV. Let me ask you a question related to that. And this is something that I debated with Koalas. And watching foreign language on television or movies, me personally, I would actually prefer the bad overdub to looking at the subtitles, if only because I feel like I lose something or miss something in looking at the subtitles and trying to read while the action is going on above. Even though the voices may not sound accurate in an overdub. I totally get that. I am a sub guy every time, unless I'm doing something else. If I'm like cooking dinner and I can't keep looking up to read the subtitles, then I'll take a dub. But it's only in that case. Like, I get what you're saying, because I also wonder, like, am I missing like little expressions and things while I'm right? And I'm a slow reader, so that doesn't help. So I'm constantly pausing it. My wife is like, "What are you doing?" And the flip side to that is, and I agree as well, that the translations and the overdub usually may not be as accurate because they're trying to fit the mouth movements for the most part as the original intended dialogue. Exactly. And as an actor myself, I'm very sensitive about, like, I know that what can go into the subtleties of voices that maybe didn't get done in the dubbing process. So yeah, I definitely get stuff like it. Okay, before we get out of here, you got to talk about the books that you have for us that we're going to be giving away this Friday. Yes, absolutely. So we have one of the newest Kitty Secret the Soul books that just hit the shelves, and that is The Advice That Changed My Life. And these are stories about different wisdom that's been passed from one person to another, and how those bits of wisdom actually change the person's life. So, to the point so much that they actually write a story about it and submit it to the Secret Soul. But super inspirational, and there's a lot of wisdom in here that you can pick up just by reading the book. So, can I have one? You can have one. That one is yours. Okay, thank you. Do not let anyone take that. Don't just swallow one. If you could get the wisdom for you could be wisdom, you were like, I'll go. Yes, exactly. Now, I hope, when I say this seriously, I appreciate you coming out to the studio on an evening like this because you have to brave the elements. How long is your drive? I'm being serious. It will be probably about 40 minutes, but I did leave one of my oars on the way here, but my life jacket kept me afloat. It was fine. Well, your life jacket is one of those cool sweaters. Yeah, I always see your cool sweater. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. But you don't bring one. You just bring one just to make you joke. Because you don't give anyone. You say, look at what I have, and you don't. A little bit. But you got all that dog food. So I guess that's fair. First, I'll see this week. God damn it. It's later with Mo Kelly. KFI 824, we're live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app now. Let's go to the KFI 24-hour newsroom and ADP.
A tornado warning has been issued for southwestern LA County and central Ventura County. Forecasters say a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado about 10 miles south of Camarillo, and the cell was expected to cross through western Malibu a few minutes ago in Newberry Park right about now. Forecasters say the tornado to damage mobile homes, roofs, and vehicles, and is one headed the direction to take cover. Water levels in the largest reservoir in California have risen 8 feet over the past week and more than 100 feet since September 1st because of all the rain. Lake Shasta is now three-quarters full. Data from the U.S. Bureau of Reclamation shows Shasta Dam got nearly 6 inches of rain in just one day last week. Officials say that was more rain than in the entire month of January, February, and March of last year. The San Bernardino Mountains are getting even more snow as people struggle to recover from the storms earlier this month.
The snow can make roadways hectic and have ways of roofs still covered in snow from the recent blizzard, which has since turned to ice. County Supervisor John Rouse says officials have prepared for the storm.
All of our county public works, operation employees, seasonal employees, and on-call contractors have been activated for snow plowing and storm patrol to operate safety equipment on split shifts.
Rouse says those crews will be working 24/7. People have been urged to prepare to possibly be stuck inside their homes. In San Bernardino, Blake Soley, KFI News.
Surveillance video shows a couple on a date in Koreatown being robbed by a guy with a semi-automatic weapon. Police have been committed at least one other armed robbery in the area since last week's attack. The footage shows the couple dropping to the ground outside a restaurant on Beverly Boulevard while the man takes their money, cell phones, and handbags. The LAPD says the man ran off after the attack and may have robbed someone else on 3rd Avenue. Police say the guy's black, about 30 years old, 180 pounds. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen says the U.S. banking system is down, but additional rescue arrangements could be warranted if any new failures with smaller banks pose a risk to financial stability. Yellen says the government has demonstrated a resoluted commitment to take necessary steps to make sure that depositors' savings are safe.
I believe that our actions reduce the risk of further bank failures that would have imposed losses on the deposit insurance fund, which is paid for through state-owned banks.
Yellen's comments come on the heels of the second and third largest bank failures in U.S. history. Silicon Valley Bank collapsed earlier this month, followed by the failure of Signature Bank. Last week, First Republic Bank was fortified by $30 billion in funds raised to prevent it from also collapsing. And a proposed bill could impose a statewide ban on candy like Skittles, hot tamales, and double bubble Swiss gum. assembling them just to daybreak. Those smugged to California stop making, selling, or distributing foods that contain red dye number 3 and other chemicals. Gabriel's office says these chemicals can cause significant health problems like damage to the immune system and behavioral issues in children. California would be the first state with a law banning the distribution of these candies if the bill is approved. Southline weather from KFI, rain overnight with gusty winds, especially in the Antelope Valley, where up to 60 miles per hour gusts are expected. Showers with thunderstorms possible early tomorrow, then showers in the afternoon. Highs mainly in the 50s. Will dry out by tomorrow night with cloudy skies mainly for Thursday, sunny Friday, and through the weekend with highs in the 50s to mid-60s. It's 53 in Anaheim, 55 in Huntington Beach. Got a crash in the corner pass on the 101.
That's southbound at Lincoln. TC running a brakes and moves solo car wreck out of lane, so you're seeing some heavy traffic from Vineland. In Glendale, some good news, 134 west on the 2. A crash there has been moved out of the 3 right lanes. It looks like the driver has recovered there. And if you're on the 101 southbound in Silver Lake, right at Silver Lake Boulevard, the 13 brake lights, and that's a slow drive up until you get to about the 110. KFI in the sky, folks get you there faster. I'm Pedro Moreno. How much do you think your home is worth this year? Do you think it's going to be worth the same next year? If you're thinking about borrowing on your home equity, your odds of getting more out of your home is probably higher now than it will be next year. I certainly believe that. Some experts predict that property values might decline over the next few years, making it more challenging for borrowers to tap into that home equity. If you need $75,000 or more, HMS Capital can help you borrow the money you need with the equity you've built. So whether you want to consolidate debt, make home improvements, or whatever your situation may be, HMS Capital may have the best solution to help you. No appraisal, credit report fees to apply. I've done 2 mortgages with HMS Capital. Clearly, I'm a fan. I believe they're simply the best for what they do. Call 833-255-5698, 833-255-5698. Visit hmscapital.com. I'm attorney Gary Capanosi, founder of 1-800-NO-COP, reminding you to exercise your right to just shut up. It doesn't make you look guilty, it makes you look smart. 1-800-NO-COP, because no one looks good no cop. What's your age of that sort of thing? 1-800-NO-COP. Hey, always Team Start. For emergency backup power, there's only one name you need to know. Deafy Power. Since 1965, Southern California has relied on Deafy for hospitals and high-rises, data centers and school districts, every form of business, big or small, even homes and RVs. Whether it's a new generator, an emergency rental, or Deafy's legendary air and maintenance service, Deafy Power has you covered. Go to DeafyPower.com, DeafyPower.com. That's DeafyPower.com.
Why would a plumber just tell me what it costs to unclog my drain over the phone? Is it that complicated?
No, it's not. It makes no sense at all. They obviously have a price.
Whoa, you got a nice aroma. Who are you?
Mike Diamond, the Silver Plumber.
Will you tell me how much to unclog my drain?
$99.
Do you have a
Living the dream. How are you?
Doesn't matter if it's a
Living the dream. How are you?
mainline sewer service. Snowbird Plumbers at Mike Diamond will unclog almost any drain for $99.
almost?
Yeah, there are a few exceptions, but you can read all about them on our website before you call. Just go to snowgoodplumber.com.
Wow, you went up front and everything. I just put a guy named Bubba who wouldn't tell me anything.
No brothers here, ma'am. Just professional plumbers who show up on time, smell good, and unclog drains for $99. Call us. 1-800-446. Contact your local number 299. This is Jacob and Ronnie. If you've been in an accident, call 844-24-JACOB. KFI News is following the storm that is impacting parts of Southern California. Here is the latest from the National Weather Service. The National Weather Service tonight has issued a tornado warning for Central Ventura County in southwestern California, southwestern Los Angeles County in southwestern California until 8:30 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time. At 8:17 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time, a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located over 41 State Park, 14 miles south of Camarillo, moving northeast at 35 miles an hour. Hazard: tornado. Source: radar indicated location. intact, expect damage to mobile homes, roofs, and vehicles. This dangerous storm will be near western Malibu around 8:25 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time. Newberry Park around 6:30 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time. Other locations impacted by this tornadic thunderstorm include Mantle Bay and Ventura counties. Take cover now. Move to a basement or an interior room on the lowest floor of a city building. Avoid windows. If you are outdoors, in a mobile home, or in a vehicle, move to the closest substantial shelter and protect yourself from falling debris. Visit here for the latest on the weather. PM5 and AM 640. Remind everyone, on the iHeartRadio app, you can always get me on social media, on Twitter at Mr. Kelly, and Arkansas KELLY. Check out what we're doing on Instagram at the same. Some of the big stories that we're following, of course, in regard to this storm. You heard the tornado warning, and obviously, I should say, probably push your ears up a bit. It's not something that we usually hear in Southern California, but we'll be continuing to watch that. Also, geologists expecting hillsides threatening San Clemente apartment buildings as more rain falls. And as we mentioned before, the PCH closures in Huntington Beach still going due to flooding, and there's more debris cleanup in Dana Point. But you heard that bumper talking about Hollywood, and Hollywood might be bracing for a couple of strikes. We were talking about strikes earlier with LAUSD, but Hollywood is dealing with the Writers Guild of America strike, and how, well, if you're a writer, a lot of the money that you may be from residuals. If you write a television show, when it airs, you usually get paid. But in the age of streaming, it's a little bit more complicated, and production studios have been reticent to make the type of deals where writers will get paid in the same way in terms of something doesn't necessarily air on streaming, but it is streamed, and writers want to get more money to it with respect to that, because customarily a lot of writers only will get a flat rate for something they write, which only appears on a streaming platform. Now, the Writers Guild wants to factor in the streaming economy into their compensation packages going forward. As I was talking about with residual fees, that's the money paid when a film or series is rerun or aired on broadcast. But those fees are now vanishing altogether in the streaming era. And these writers want to make sure that they are paid for their work, which is still huge in large part, but they're not being paid on that level. And there's something else. But this still might be something on a twice a year. Okay? When you see a series on Netflix, how many episodes do you usually expect to be television?
Season 1?
A number.
I would say 13.
13.
Yeah.
And sometimes less.
Yeah.
Okay. Back in the day, the 70s and 80s, for a broadcast television show, there were usually 22 or more episodes.
That's how many episodes are on Friends this season.
So yeah, okay.
That's right, yeah.
So this is more a writer for Friends, and then those 22 episodes per year, which you're getting residuals for, a writer, and then think about 9 to 13 episodes for something that's on Netflix that you're not getting most likely any residuals for. You probably got a flat rate at the beginning. That would sound probably kind of fancy.
Sounds a little unfair.
Yeah, sounds crazy. So that is I would say, the foundation of the issue here. And what a lot of Hollywood studios are doing, they are trying to speed up their production schedule to get as much as they can as possible in advance of this May 1 deadline. So people like you and me won't necessarily know, right? We would see new content, or at least new to us, which would be available, I can't say airing, but available on different networks over the course of any proposed strike time. because they would still have the new season of such and such. They would still have a new movie of such and such to be able to put on Netflix or whatever, and still not necessarily hit the issue head on. I don't know how it's going to turn out, but I do know in the long run that the writers are going to win because this is not sustainable long term. Where if you have people coming from the broadcast era, where they're customarily getting paid for 22 episodes or more, and residuals in perpetuity on some level when those episodes would the reruns would air, but you have to do something similar for streaming where the content is even more accessible and it's even more time. I mean, how many times do you go back and watch a series or another episode because you can? I may watch a television show or a movie because it's available. It's on. It's not like I'm waiting for it to actually be broadcast at a certain particular time. So I can watch it whenever I want. And I know I'm not the only one. So there's a lot of money out there which should be paid, in my humble estimation, to writers. And that's what we're going to have to figure out. Yeah. Well, they are. Well, I guess somebody does that, like, yeah, we got a bunch of those. And, there's also a lot of writers out there who are also looking for their way in. And we look at this as an opportunity to say, hey, I'll come in and write. That's how it is with a lot of DJs who come up. There's a lot of high-profile DJs who get too big to do the club. Someone says, well, I'm DJ so-and-so. And next thing you know, y'all, DJ so-and-so. What's on the tab? It's not like that. It's not like they're taking jobs or taking positions during the strike. And that's what a casualty. This is just something. Quality is making the point that certainly on one hand may not pay writers with their customers to be paid, but it's also opened the door for a lot of breaking writers to be able to get their work seen and also get paid. Oh yeah. And that's the next is up in negotiation. But I'm going to side with the writers on this one, at least from what I know so far. I mean, I want to support writers. I love good content. I want to see what's happening on the next episode. I understand we also know that Hollywood is getting tighter, that jobs are harder to find in Hollywood than ever before. So it's come down to fight. So it's probably fight them, but going forward, the economic downturns are difficult. Yeah, and there will be a time in which Hollywood will be making more money hand over fist. And I would hope that agreement will make sure that more writers are taken care of in the way that they have been historically taken care of. Oh, that's all I'm hoping for. It's great with no Kelly, but along those lines, as we talk about streaming, when we come back, do you know that Disney has been trying to recalibrate its prices from a theme park to a streaming platform and collectible items? Well, maybe, just maybe, Disney Plus should be charging more for the streaming platform. When does it come? Well, we're going to talk about it when we come back. KFI 840, we're live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. And Jimmy now has the news. Rain winds up to 50 miles per hour expected through the evening. The National Weather Service says LA could also see hail and even land south with their type of pressure. A tornado warning was actually issued for southwestern LA and central Ventura County, but it was expired about 15 minutes ago. Mountains and out there will be skiing and snowboarding through at least the end of July. The resort has received 634 inches of snow at the main lodge and says it could just be one storm away from breaking the all-time snowfall record of 668 inches set in the 2010-2011 season. The White House says junk fees cost Americans tens of billions of dollars a year. President Biden is pushing Congress to get rid of the hidden fees attached to concert tickets, airfare, hotels, and other hidden costs. Rain tonight and tomorrow, maybe some thunderstorms, highs in the 50s, snow in higher elevations. We got potholes in Pomona on 71. There's north on that Old Avenue. It's slowing down. You'll be seeing some backup from about Mission Boulevard. Traveling in Echo Park on the 101 southbound, flowing once you get to Alvarado Street. There's actually once you get to about the 110. And we're filling in the Cajon Pass on the 15 northbound from Oak Hill Road to about to 395. Two left lanes shut down until further notice, so watch the delays as you come out of the Cajon Pass. KFI in the Sky helps get you there faster on Pedro Moreno. This report is sponsored by Unbound.org. Right now, there are young people across the world facing a tough choice: continue their dream of education or drop out to help their family put food on the table. You can help change their future in a single moment. See how far your support can go at unbound.org.
The podcast Let's Start a Coup wonders, what if a secret cabal of the nation's most powerful people tries to overthrow the president? Explore how it almost happened to FDR in the 1930s in this darkly comedic retelling of one of American history's weirdest scenes.
And for you, Major General Gladly Buckley, nothing and every week for kids. Why? Is it something bad?
Listen to Let's Start a Coup on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
You have an old or an unused car taking up space? Turn it into a valuable tax deduction with a simple donation to Cars for Kids. With over 100 towers ready to pick up your car in any condition, Cars for Kids makes donating your vehicle a breeze. No wonder they have a 4.9 rating on Trustpilot. Let Cars for Kids do the work for you. Just fill out a quick form at carsforkids.org and someone will reach out to arrange for your pickup, sometimes as soon as the next day. Think about the hassle of selling, and hello, it's a quick, convenient pickup with a maximum tax deduction. Donate your car today by calling 877 Cars for Kids or carsforkids.org.
Imagine air travel that's simple and hassle-free. That's Surf Air. Save hours on every trip. Fly on your own schedule. Avoid crowded terminals. And never stand in another line again. As a Surf Air member, you're in control of your travel day. SurfAir.com. Stress-free, easy air travel. Get a free quote on your next flight at SurfAir.com. There's a better way to fly. SurfAir.com. You locked your cat up the tree?
Yeah, he's way up there. He's scared to come down.
Hang on, I'll get him for you.
Be careful, mister.
Thanks, kid. Here you go.
Where did he come from? And where is your mask and coat?
What? Oh, no, your mom and dad called us to clean out your shower drain.
What?
They were up a tree, too.
Really?
Your drain was really clogged, backing up, and we had to stop that nasty stuff from invading your bathroom.
So you're a hero?
Try to be every day. We're rooter heroes.
Wow.
We make sure you live in a safe, clean house. Go on.
Thanks for us being doors.
It's what a hero does.
If you have a plug in, call a hero coming in today. Go online at ViralRabbi.com.
I'm Martin Coates, the inventor of Rabbi Nasal Care, and I love Rabbi. I told you about how your nose is Divider's air filter. The Divider's power sucker will help flush out allergies, viruses, mucus, and germs. And that Divider will help you breathe better. But what do other people say about Divider? Like Tara, quote, my doctor wanted me to do saline rinses for my allergies, but I've never been able to successfully use a neti pot. Navaj uses suction power, so it's foolproof. They're nice when I'll have particularly bothersome allergies. I'll bust it out, and the results are immediate. It's such a relief. It's become a lifesaver. Unquote. He's one of over 100,000 online reviews praising Navaj. The all-natural solution trusted by over 3 million people to help you breathe better, sleep deeper, snore less, and stay healthier without drugs. Navaj is available at Walmart, CVS, Walgreens, Target, Rite Aid, and online. Navaj, N-A-V. The National Weather Service tonight has issued a tornado warning for Central Ventura County in southwestern California, southwestern Los Angeles County in southwestern California until 8:30 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time. At 8:17 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time, a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located over Boise State Park, 14 miles south of Camarillo, moving northeast at 35 miles an hour. Hazard, tornado. Source, radar indicated location. Impact, expect damage to mobile homes, roofs, and vehicles. This dangerous storm will be near western Malibu around 3:25 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time. Radar park around 8:30 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time. Other locations impacted by this tornado thunderstorm include Naval Base Ventura and Abbey. Take cover now. Move to a basement or an interior room on the lowest floor of a certain building. Avoid windows. If you are outdoors, in a mobile home or in a vehicle, move to the closest substantial shelter and protect yourself from falling debris. Portions of the following program will be recorded. For those of you in Monterey Park, there's nothing worse in terms of traffic than when the president shows up. Streets are blocked off. Good time to commit a crime 5 miles out. Merely recognizing a not promoting, just recognizing. Live 6 to 9 a.m. on KFI. And on demand anytime on the iHeartRadio app. Strong winds continue, the heavy rains continue all around Southern California. We will keep you informed as we go. Make sure you just keep it right here at KFI for what's called tomorrow. Then the Bill Handle Show from 6 to 9 a.m. Then Gary and Shannon from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. John Kim from 1 to 4. Tim Conlon Jr. from 4 to 7. Of course, Larry with Most Ellie from 17 to 10. We'll have all of the information, all of the vital information, not only to keep you informed, but to keep you safe. If we talk about closures, evacuations, and even recently, tornado warning. So it is very serious and very important that you keep listening. You've heard that music that is Disney related, and I think that we're going to talk about the Disney Plus app. And I caught the attention of AT because she is the queen of all things Disney. And I was positing, that maybe Disney Plus should have raised the cost of their Disney Plus app to platform even more. Right. Well, I'm just thinking about, I'm putting on my CEO Bob Iger hat. Okay. And I know, given the more recent announcements by Iger where they were trying to scale back some of the price hikes and theme parks and the cost of collectibles and the cost of some attractions, if they were actually wanting to see where they could make more money, Disney Plus app. And here's why, and there's evidence to support that. When Disney Plus raised the prices back in December by $3 per month, $10.99. The users did not drop at all. Their subscribers is retaining 94% of their previous subscribers. So they launched it. Yeah, but when you raise it, not if you're raising, not if you're getting $3 more per month from 94% of it. Yeah, so there's law. Yeah, the overall is net positive, which says that there's high elasticity in the sense of what people would pay for relative to the Disney product. Now, HBO Max, I haven't seen their numbers. They raised their price $1 to $15.99, which is still $5 more than Disney Plus. And I think it's unanimous that HBO Max is an inferior platform in terms of content quality. So if HBO Max can successfully, air quotes, successfully charge $15.99 per month, it would stand a reason that Disney Plus should charge at least that amount.
And isn't Netflix just like 17 or 18 bucks a month?
Something like that. And they was a cheaper commercial version. No, no one wants that. No, people are actually signing up. No one wants to see commercials on Netflix series. But in addition to that, and the reason why
commercials, and I'm still paying like 17 or 18 bucks a month.
Girl, you get robbed. That's not good.
And look, this filler is too much.
Yeah, I would check the fine print because you're not supposed to be paying that much and getting commercials. Yeah, that's very Hulu of them.
Yeah, where's my wristband?
Okay. Bob Iger is in addition to what we're talking about now, he's talking about slowing down a lot of content because he wants to go back to the drawing board and make sure that the content is pristine and worth what it is that they're charging. Like, hey, we're charging a lot. Here's estimation. I want to make sure that the product matches that. And for me, so far, I'm like, that's great because I'm loving and molding every single thing that they do anyway. Agreed. And remember, either preceded and succeeded Bob Chapek, and they had vastly different management styles and I would say strategic goals. Now, Chapek was trying to get Disney Plus to a subscriber base of 230 to 260 million subscribers by the end of fiscal year 2024.
That's a lot.
Yeah, his strategy to that point was about keeping the cost of Disney Plus relatively low. I think it started out at like $6.99 when they first unveiled it. And so, yes, it did increase the number of subscribers, but with that, they did not lose a large amount when they started raising the cost of it. And again, when you look at it relative to the other streaming platforms out there, Disney Plus is superior in terms of its quantity and quality of content. So I'm not saying they should, but the data suggests that they could without losing a lot of people. Now,
If you're listening, don't do it.
well, it doesn't mean that if they do it 6 months from now that there won't be different consequences because Disney, the company, has not had a lot of movie hits in the way that they did maybe a year or two ago. And so the appeal of those same movies coming to Disney Plus, which was a big selling point a year ago, doesn't have the same type of luster right now. And so that's where they are focusing more on the original content that's coming to Disney Plus. A lot of people are upset with some of the shows that they pulled, but I go like these shows aren't hits. I only want hits when it's on Disney Plus. When we launched it, I was right there in the room. We had hits. We shows that made people want to sign up and watch. Where are the hits at? Okay, everyone stop what you're doing. Go back to the drawing board. Don't come back. And you got to do it. When we come back to the top of the hour, I'll be joined on the line by actress Dale Cole. You may remember her from Lightyear. You also may remember her in a live action capacity from Orange is the New Black. Well, she is a co-star of the new animated comedy cartoon Big Man, which is on Comedy Central, and it premieres tomorrow night. We're going to talk about that next. Stay up by 8:40. We're live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. More stimulating talk without even lifting a finger. Thanks, wrong finger. Just tell your smart device to play KFI AM 640.
KFI.
KOST.
Los Angeles on time.
Live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app.
On the lines, I'm in the live in the KFI 24-hour newsroom. Thousands of LA school workers are on strike for better wages and respect from the district. Workers have been marching in rain and wind, fighting for new contracts and better working conditions. Educational audiologist for the Marlton School for the Deaf, Melody Evans says the strike isn't just about pay. It's about children suffering from a lack of support. It's not just this raise of this categorization of us just wanting more money. It's not it. We want what's best for our students and for our community. The district is sending out to the children who are missing meals during the strike, and 75% of students live below the poverty line. The walkout is expected to last through Thursday. In LA, Chris Apple, CFI News. A man from Orange County who was out on bail in a domestic violence case has been arrested again for allegedly killing his ex-girlfriend in Anaheim. The woman's body was found in her apartment Friday. Aaron Normal was later arrested in Riverside County. A $20,000 reward has been offered to catch those responsible for the racially motivated murder of a man in Compton.
Investigators with the LA County Sheriff's Department say that Richard Jefferson Sr. was standing on the street corner with Frank. Lieutenant Patricia Thomas says September 19, 2018 is around 6:38 p.m. Deputies were sent to the intersection of Peach and Alton.
On Monday, every day, Mr. Jefferson lying on the ground, suffering from a friend problem.
Holmes says Jefferson was mistaken for a gang member, but neither him nor his friends were part of the gang. Jefferson's brother Kent says his brother was known as Red and was well liked in Compton.
Spring Park in downtown LA is being renamed to honor County Supervisor Florida Molina.
who recently announced he was battling some motion issue. Motion was approved unanimously by the Board of Supervisors. Supervisor Hilda Solis says Gloria Molina Grand Park is a park for everyone and over the city. The board also wore purple, which is her favorite color to make the announcement. Molina served on the LA County Board of Supervisors for more than 2 decades. Taiwan has tentatively confirmed that Peter will travel through New York at the end of the month before she heads to Guatemala and Belize. The Biden administration says expected visits to the U.S. by Taiwan's president would fall in line with recent precedents. It says the visit should not be used as pretext by China to step up aggressive activity in Taiwan. The Prime Minister is also expected to stop in LA next month on her way back to Taiwan. A dentist in Colorado has been arrested for allegedly poisoning and killing his wife. He died last week. James Frank was arrested early Sunday on a charge of first-degree murder. Police say he bought arsenic and cyanide and secretly dosed his wife with protein shakes. Family and friends told police the couple had been struggling financially, and Craig had several affairs. Russia and China have issued a joint statement about their deepening cooperation in Ukraine.
Two sides just said, quote, the purposes and principles of the UN Charter must be observed, and international law must be respected. Well, there it is.
National Security Council John Kirby says following the UN Charter would mean Russia should withdraw from all the territory inside Ukraine. Kirby said China is not impartial because it has not condemned Russia's invasion. The joint statement comes as China's leader continues second day of talks in Russia with the country's President Putin. Bruce Springsteen, Julia Louis-Dreyfus, and Fashion designer Vera Wang are among those who have been awarded National Arts and Humanities medals at the White House. President Biden honored 21 performers today, along with authors and groups. They were given prizes that recognize the work that has deepened the nation's understanding of the human experience, broadened citizens' engagement in history or literature, or helped preserve and expand Americans' access to cultural resources. Sounds like weather can get fine. Gusty winds and rain tonight, lows in the 30s and 40s. Up to 6 inches of snow possible overnight in the Antelope Valley with winds gusting up to about 60 miles per hour. Look for rain showers and a slight chance of thunderstorms tomorrow morning and rain off and on in the afternoon. Snow in higher elevations, highs will be in the 40s and 50s. Drying out Thursday with highs in the low 60s, then sunny Friday, Saturday, Sunday, highs in the 50s and mid-60s. It's 52 in Orange, 54 in Manhattan Beach, 52 in Cerritos, 46 in Champaign Country. We've got potholes in Arcadia on the 210.
Westbound just before Baldwin. Out past crews have the 3 right lanes blocked off as they get to work on those, so your drivers stand up from about Santa Anita. Conditions in Carson on the 405 northbound before Carson Street. Earlier crash there has been moved out of lanes. Your drivers are coming from Wilmington Avenue. And into the home pass on the 15 northbound from Oakville to Highway 395. Work from there has the 2 left lanes closed off. Those are scheduled to be reopened tomorrow night at 3 p.m. KFI in the Sky helps get you there faster. I'm Pedro Moreno. Is your home title still in your name? What would you do if you discovered you're the victim of a home title theft? Say that the one document that proves you own your home is no longer in your name. With Home Title Lock's free lookup service, you can verify your home is still safely in your name. Thieves can now discover the title to your home online. They simply forge your signature on a transfer document stating you sold your home to them. Then they take out loans on your home or sell it to some unsuspecting buyer. Homeowners insurance and common identity theft programs do not protect you. Home Title Lock does. Home Title Lock puts a virtual shield around your home's title to help keep criminals away. First things first, verify your home title is still in your name with Home Title Lock's free lookup service. There's no obligation. It's absolutely free. Then register your address for 30 free days of protection. Visit HometitleLock.com/free. HometitleLock.com/free. Rosetta Stone, what language is learning? RosettaStone.com. More stimulating fun. KFI AM 640. It's later with Mo Kelly. We're live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. Comedy Central's new adult animated series, Disney, is written and produced by Emmy and Golden Globe Award winner Andy Samberg, who also stars in the lead role. Set in a world where archaeologists are massive celebrities and the coolest people on the planet, Disney premieres tomorrow night at 10:30 p.m. on Comedy Central. One of the show's stars is Dale Soul, who viewers will remember as Peter Berlin from the groundbreaking series Orange is the New Black. And he's joins me right now on the line. Dale Soul, thank you for coming on with me. How are you?
I'm okay, Mr. Martelli. I'm okay. What you got here?
I absolutely love your voice. And when I was growing up, the idea of a cartoon for adults seemed like such a foreign concept. And now they seem to be quite common when it comes to the 21st century. What do you make of the evolution of the genre?
I would say I'm probably in the same boat as you are. When I was coming up, there wasn't anything like an adult cartoon. And I think it's great. I think any form of storytelling that expands itself, there's no downside there. I enjoy animation. It tells a story in a different way than live or live action. And there's things you can do that you could never do in real life, even with the CGI and all the rest of these technological advances. So I think it's a lot of fun. It's wonderful.
This is kind of took my next question because I just want to be clear. This is a very adult cartoon from the language to the imagery. It is all the way adult. But isn't it kind of fun to do this type of voice work to your point? But you don't have a lot of content value.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. I mean, when I first read the script, that's what made me love it. It's very funny. It was such a thing that in the humor, Rick is a archaeologist, and he was sort of in the society, as you mentioned. The archaeologists are the ROTHSCHILD society. They are the celebrities. And he was the top of the heap. So the character played by Andy Samberg, a rich kid man. And then we fall to the bottom of the heap. And we meet him at the bottom of the heap. And I am his longtime office manager. My name is Agatha, and I love him, but I tough love, and he's a gambler, he's a lesbian, and he's got a droll wit in that order. That's the character description, and I think, that since that's adult, he stays deaf on multiple occasions. He has a black book that's full of interesting, he's saying his faces. He's an interesting character. And it's an adult story, and it's fun.
The glory, the fire, I hear it for still. But as we all know, legends are rarely real. It's been 12 years since Rick Dickens was fired by the Smithsonian. You have to wonder what Rick is even up to these days. And my guess, he's just sitting at home, soft. My whole life is going on TRILLIONAIRE. The only dating I'm interested in is carbon dating. The world is gonna roll me down.
And know how you can come back to that.
I just feel like a clock on absolutely intended. You'll never have to bring out a question for anything upon the end of what we're doing ever again. Now, when you have the size, when you have the type of material, is there any room for you to riff or improvise, or you sticking strictly to the script as it's written?
Well, that depends on the project. There were a couple of times in the project where the producer on Zoom would say, try that. It's like, try flipping those lines or do what you would say. That happens occasionally, yeah. There's improvisation occasionally. I wouldn't do it if it's free to comment. Otherwise, it's just strict,
You said something which is interesting when you acknowledge that the producer was on Zoom. Is this now kind of the industry standard when we talk about voiceover work, when you don't need to be in person or, physically in the presence of someone, even post-pandemic?
Well, I'm hoping that we go back to being able to be in the same physical space as the director and the producer. I hope that happens. I'd love to get out to the Pixar studio. That would
starting a job for Lightyear. Oh, it's like, you know. But it is getting at a good time. That's to go downtown New York to your studio. But I think that some of the studios for recording will open up and people will be back in person. But there will be, I mean, just like there is in the casting world, in the live theater world, you know, a much more stuff is being seen on hold than before. It's a rare situation where it falls in. It has been.
Let me go one step further with that. Are you having fast interaction, or are you running your lines kind of independently and not having that scene-to-scene interaction with your castmates?
Yeah, there was never any cast interaction with regard to the voiceover for either the Lightyear piece or for this piece. You don't really have the cast interaction. No.
How do you get your comedic timing down? Because I'm listening to the dialogue and it's witty, it's quick, it's specific, it's, you know, the timing.
Well, in this case, I would say Neil Campbell, who is one of the creators and has worked with Andy Samberg in the past on Brooklyn Nine-Nine, for instance, he read with me a second. He wasn't there in person, he was on the film, but he was reading with me. So that's how, you know, it's not like you're completely shooting in the dark, you know. I mean, he wrote some of it, and he's very familiar with the style and the form of the comedy, and so he was a good person, and he would be the person who would decide whether it was going to go live one way or the other. So it was just, you know, worked well. The very first thing I read, I thought was very funny, and if you want to do it. He says, look, if there's one thing I've learned from my all-night underground poker game, is you gotta learn to throw the hand yourself. Sometimes you get nothing at all, and then you realize Johnny Palomino is dealing from the bottom of the deck. What's up, Johnny, you say? Why are you dealing me dirty? Why Miss Agatha is this? Whatever do you mean? Well, that's when you whip that old man for your nickel-plated snub-nosed 38.
Obviously have thrived in both live action environments and also the animated voiceover environments. For someone like me who's never done either, how different is the discipline or the skill set involved?
Well, it's very different. It's very different. The preparation is not different. The decisions about, you know, what you're saying and how you're going to deliver it, what the timing, you know, some of the timing, that's not so different. What's different is that in animation, for instance, speed is important. The thing I really learned that I didn't know prior to this project were no matter how well it was going, they don't do that a little faster. You know, it was perfect, but you did a little faster. And that's what you learn is that if you are live, the audience is watching two human beings interact with each other. So you say something and then that lands, and then you listen to it and say this and well now, and then you'll say something back to them, right? But it lands. In an animation, chances are it's just on the dialogue is going to go back and forth, without that lag for it to land. So it's a very specific thing.
Comedy Central's new adult animated series, Disneyland, premieres tomorrow night on Comedy Central at 6:30 p.m. Dale Cole, thank you so much for coming on this evening, and we wish you the best.
Well, you're very welcome. Also, let's follow the South Park, which might be an interesting piece of information.
Well, we'll just walk all evening long. How about that?
There you go.
It's later with Mo Kelly. KFI AM 340. We're live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. We have more easy and free news on the other side. But right now, let's go to Amy T in the KFI 24-hour newsroom.
Teachers joined rain-soaked picket lines early this morning. Workers demanded better wages and increased staffing on the first of three-day strike. Bus driver Mike Cervantes says he's going to be out on the picket lines, rain or shine. Schools are closed because of the strike, affecting hundreds of thousands of students. A 4.6 magnitude quake has rattled Humboldt County in Northern California. The quake hit at 4:18 this afternoon near Fortuna. Succession star Sarah Smith has done a surprise reveal at the show's season 4 premiere in New York. She's pregnant with her first child, showed up her baby bump at the premiere. Season 4, which will be the last of the series, premieres March 26th. Rain tonight and tomorrow.
If you do make Columbia your next home, you might have some neighbors with cocaine hippos. If you've heard about these, it's invasive species hippos. That's when Pablo Escobar's hacienda. Essentially, it's like they started out as a small population, now they're up to 60, and they're just completely growing. They have no natural, there are no natural predators for hippo, obviously, in the Amazon or in Colombia, and essentially they might be able to just run wild.
This report is sponsored by MGM Rewards. Having the time of your life is more rewarding than ever when you visit any MGM Rewards destination nationwide. Value, stay, play, and earn on all of it. Details at MGMRewards.com. Subject to annual redemption limitations applicable to certain purchases in certain states.
This marketer support. The previous Global Market Officer Direct to Consumer for Warner Brothers Discovery weighs in on building trust. Trust that is really hard.
So Pablo Escobar had a zoo when he had his cartel going, and essentially on the property he had all kinds of exotic animals. He hippos for some of them, and when the hacienda, his ranch got taken down, they didn't know what to do with the animals, and the whole place just kind of went into disrepair, and the animals eventually broke free, including the hippos, and have since depopulated within Colombia. And because they don't have any natural predators, and on top of that, very interestingly, there's a big push ecologically to give them like personhood status. Just some really interesting things, and you can't hunt them or anything like that. They're just going to continue growing as a population perhaps indefinitely.
You locked your cat up this tree?
I thought it would be a controlled, almost like maybe you get like, I don't know, 20, and that's it. But no, there's really no limit on it, and you can't hunt them. So essentially, they get to live their entirety of their lives. They're very territorial as well. In fact, I may be incorrect on this, but I don't think I am. At least when I was a child, the hippo was the number one animal to kill humans, aside from the humans, on that
Try to be every day. We're rooter heroes.
Wow.
We make sure you live in a safe, clean house. Go on.
Thanks for rescuing George.
Supporting your dog.
If you have a question, call Zero Zero coming in at 419-ZeroZero.com.
And Cody's Mind is here to help you get the justice you deserve. We specialize in serious injury cases and have been fighting for our clients since 1972. Trust the Cody Mind to be your guide, your advocate, and your support system. With our unmatched experience and expertise, you can rest assured that you'll get the compensation you deserve. Plus, our consultation is always free. Call the Cody Myers today.
I think that's
help you
a hippo size stuff is so much easier than
the Cody Myers.
Therefore, they don't stop on they can't kill me in one house, with no pun intended, when a hippo size stuff.
All of the once-in-a-lifetime events, all of the best free playlists, my favorite music will be everything. All of the great podcasts for every interest.
Stuff they don't want you to know.
All of the mind-blowing content.
$20,000
All your favorite superstars.
to stay dropping Foo Fighters.
And best of all, the double cost of it. Download the absolutely free iHeartRadio app now.
You took the $997 million cash payout. The guy spent $25 million on a house in Hollywood. He had celebrity neighbors. He had one of those infinity schools. Radio culture. You can be dumb and lucky. Television Intelligence live 4 to 7 p.m. on JFI and on demand anytime on the iHeartRadio app. We're live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. And maybe right now you've seen this. It's going to be a cult classic you drink through one day. Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. It was made for about maybe $60,000. Yes, what's the gross at this point? $4 million. $4 million. That's a hell of a return. So it has become a sensation only because it was mostly just marketing thing, where they produced a trailer and the absurdity of Winnie the Pooh killing people and also piglets. They go on this cannibalistic rampage through 100 Acre Wood because I guess Christopher Robin left and didn't.
Christopher Robin left to go to college.
How dare he?
Yeah.
He left 100 Acre Wood and so they flipped out. They started killing college students or something like that. The point is, it was a great marketing scheme because the creators of the film were planning to take the Winnie the Pooh cinematic rights, which were going to fall in the public domain, I think, 2 years ago. And they pounced on them, and they made this POS movie. And they released it, but it was much ado about just the marketing of it, the idea of Winnie the Pooh as a slapstick film. And it took off. But now, I guess it's hit like a bump in the road. It's been pulled from cinemas in Hong Kong. Now, at first, I think, well, what's the big deal? It's only in 30 theaters. And they've already made their money back. If you only put in $60,000, you turn a $4 million profit, and the sequel has already been greenlit. You're winning. This is secondary in nature. But I did find it interesting that part of the reason it's been pulled because I guess
essentially we have duck-sized hippos now. That's a baby hippo. And they're not that much of a danger to anyone. I've never known anyone to die from a baby hippo. I only learned of them to die from their mother's
The anti-government groups who use Winnie the Pooh as kind of signs of the resistance.
But this is not Winnie the Pooh. Let's be clear. But I understand if you already associate Winnie the Pooh with social resistance, anti-government sentiment, yes, if you see Winnie the Pooh going around flashing people, that could be problematic. If that is China. Yeah, especially of all places. China or Hong Kong. So it's anywhere in that region. So I get it, but I don't think it's a big deal in the grand scheme of things as far as this movie. They've already made their money. I think it's more headline than story in that regard. It's interesting because when we look at the U.S. box office overall, one of the films, at least for the superhero genre of film, that has really kept Hollywood alive is the fact that a lot of these films were not playing in China for very good reasons, whether they felt there was
I was just going to say, we haven't talked about the Trillion. I don't necessarily think it matters in some of these scenarios. It does, whether you're on concrete, for water. In this scenario, I really think that that's what makes the area only about the shot 16 with the Trillion one shot. They got the wind aspect as well, where they could perhaps, hit you with those. And then they got the fly-in. I mean, they could dive bomb. If you've ever seen a dive bomb, it's incredible. So really, I mean, that's a really tough component because it could fly, it could float very, very well, and it can work on land.
Don't, for the most part, need China as far as popularity. They don't need Hollywood in the way that we think that they would need Hollywood. There's a population aspect, and there's also an ethnic component to it, where Hollywood used to be the only game in town on that level, but that's not the case anymore. And whereas the Chinese cinema may not be as attractive to
I did not. I keep thinking about Howard the Rat. Do you remember that movie from the 80s? It has the most similar kind of picture that I've seen of this, and I'm thinking, well, it could have West Beat as well. Take you down with the West Beat. It's quite a competitive.
Oh, those poor people can't see Winnie the Pooh turn into a homicidal maniac.
And if they did, I'm not so sure those theaters would have been filled. Yeah, none of the theaters out here were filled. No, they weren't. And which was odd. That, but it was odd because you would think in today's world, they could have made even more money if they went straight to video, straight to streaming. Right, I think that makes sense. So they were making a point, but you understand in the classic that when you go to the theater, you have to share some of the profit with the theater. You're not getting as a concession, whereas the streaming, I think, is more heavily tilted to the owner of the IP.
Alright, so if you had to pick one animal, not necessarily hippo, but like, know, like what all little kids do. Would a lion beat a tiger? What's the one animal you're choosing? Look at land animals, you know.
Cool, I'll watch it.
Wait, you like horror movies?
No, I'm not the guy who likes
That's just an example. Pick any animal you want. A rhino. What? Like if you have to pick one animal, take on another animal. What's the animal you choose? What animal you think is the best?
I thought I heard you taking this one.
No. I like I would say the suspenseful scary movies of the 1980s. And by 1990, the genre changed. The whole paranormal.
All right. How about like a marsh, like a swamp? Like it could be land, it could be water.
They trouble my spirit, and it's hard enough for me to sleep as it is. I just like those movies on a variety of levels. It's hard enough for me to watch any of the Jordan Peele movies like that. That was a lot. That's like that was after people told me like, no, it's actually not for it's more suspenseful and stuff to think about. And then when I went to go watch it, I was like, oh, okay, that wasn't that bad. But no, if there's someone stabbing and bleeding, no, I'm okay. Yeah, I don't watch those movies. Like the movie that's out right now, The Exorcist, I'm not watching that. No sir. No sir.
But you're okay with flooding guns, right? Because like you like bullet train, didn't you?
Yeah, but that was almost.
I am going to take the crocodile alligator in that kind of situation. Honestly, I think it's a matter of which one gets to bite on the other one first. Like, if you take like an equally sized alligator versus an equally sized crocodile, I don't think the like aggression factor is so much different that it's going to make that much difference in a fight. I really think it's whatever one locks on the other in the best way, that one's going to win.
But most of the action stuff that we watch is still almost cartoonish and on that superhero level. Like, yeah, the Bullet Train, that was a lot when it was supposed to be. There was a lot of movies that I was like, oh, that's too much. That was unnecessary. But it was supposed to be. But that's not something that I would ever watch again. I'm like, oh, okay, so that. I don't mind it, but the horror genre is the same.
They can lose a limb and regrow it. It's incredible. It happens very often that an alligator or a crocodile will lose a limb in these huge bogs where they've got like 1,000 other crocodiles or alligators there, and they'll accidentally like bite on another one's leg while taking on some kind of prey, and it will regrow its appendage. It's really incredible.
Yeah.
I didn't watch that. Now I like Keeper Creepers because that wasn't over the top horror like you have today.
Yeah, they take it far. Honestly, the older I get, the more it kind of skews me a little bit.
And if you've ever seen either an alligator or a crocodile on like mud, that they can slide so quickly. They can take down deer. It's incredible.
Where it's like, okay, I'm done here. We'll come back. Speaking of horror, the Last of Us had its
so there's this Australian, like this is the Harper's Eagle, which is a eagle. There's Australian eagle. I would not call it a bald eagle or anything like that. But honestly, if I like, this is kind of a cop out. But there's this thing called the alpine shaw, CHOUG, which like lives in the. It is the bird that flies higher than any other bird. So basically, no other bird can get to where it lives, which is in the top of the mountain. And if you've ever seen these things speak, it is the most incredible thing that I've ever seen in my entire life. These things are like nice with how they eat in like a group. Now they're only getting bucked and things, so that's not like if I put an alpine hawk up against like an albatross or something, an albatross is going to win all day. But I do think that they do have the advantage that nobody can get to where they are. But if I had to sit on land, like a normal, like I would probably this is Australian great eagle. I forget exactly what it is. It's like the biggest kind of eagle. Whatever the biggest kind of eagle is, there's that one too, right? Where it's like twice the size of a bald eagle. I would probably take that. That's my first thought. How about you?
At which time it's the same with the black candle. At that time, it was very about shooting a person. Nicholas says Imp had a 20 metal weapon, 3 knives, a loaded gun, and 6 shell casings were found nearby in Orange County. 4 been incarcerated.
A hospital in Idaho says it will no longer deliver babies because of a physician shortage of the state's stance on abortion. Bonner General Health, which is the only hospital in Sandpoint, Idaho, announced Friday it would no longer provide labor, delivery, and other obstetrical services. The hospital's leadership says the state leaders continue to pass bills that criminalize doctors for practices nationally recognized as a standard of care. A new government study shows a drug-resistant and potentially deadly fungus has been spreading rapidly through healthcare facilities in the U.S. ABC Sarah Tanner says fungus has hit Mississippi the hardest, with at least 12 people infected since November and 4 deaths under investigation.
The CDC warning in the journal Annals of Internal Medicine, the fungus is not a threat to healthy people, but about a third of those with some pre-existing health conditions die.
They're reporting analyzed state and local health management data on those infected from 2016 to 21. The CDC said yesterday the fungus can be found on the skin and throughout the body.
The magpie during mating season
Increased by 59% from 2019 to 2020. We're going to have much more on this in just a minute. Piles of garbage have stolen some of the luster of the City of Lights. Garbage collectors in Paris have been on strike for 2 weeks now in protest of the retirement age being raised to 64. Trash piles in some parts of the city are now as tall as people. Protesters say there's more to come. One man who lives in Paris says he prefers Chanel to this group. Southland weather to DFI, it will rain overnight.
I know you're saying like 30 Southland
Antelope Valley versus 60 miles per hour.
miles per hour.
Showers and thunderstorms possible early tomorrow, then showers for the afternoon. High noon in the 50s. It could dry out by tomorrow night. It's cloudy skies on the rest of Thursday. Then sunny Friday through the weekend with highs in 50 to 60. It's 53 in Costa Mesa, 54 Buena Park. Back to more potholes. These ones are in Arcadia on the 2
Heading westbound in between Baldwin and Nicolinda, 3 light lanes still shut down as Caltrans crews are on scene working on those crews. The heavy right from Santa Anita. More potholes that's going to be on the 50 east on the Diamond Bar. It's in between the 57 and Phillips Grand Road.
Yeah. Well, hold on a second. Hold on.
And
it's not because the great opposite, the great split, which I think could take it down with the but they don't live in the sector. Orcas are close to the surface of being mammoths as opposed to the deep level of water of the giant split. But have you ever seen orcas? They hunt in packs. They're so smart. Oh my God, it's great.
They've got clinics in Glendale, Orange, and Mission Viejo with more on the way.
Genetics is the nation's leader in these amazing treatments. They take highly concentrated healing properties from your own body and put them in your aching joint. The goal is to restore and repair damaged joint tissue the natural way.
Patients are raving about this all over the country. Pro athletes have been doing this for years, but now it's available to anyone.
And after being pain-free by this summer, living life the way you used to, walking, running, playing sports.
If you've got pain from arthritis or injury, don't think steroids and surgery are your only option.
Call and learn more about these remarkable treatments using regenerative medicine.
QC Kinetics now in Glendale, Orange, and Mission Viejo.
I can see that video of the video on that iceberg one. I did a similar video, and it's really interesting to see how they work and take them down. The question of polar bears, I think it really depends on the size and form and the location. If it's in the water, the orcas stop. If it's on land, I don't see orcas on land all that much, but they do. They like dive bomb on the land to get like seals and stuff. That would be a very interesting premise if an orca has ever dive bombed either a polar bear or a young adolescent polar bear for food. I don't know, maybe you see the opposite, where you see a polar bear sit down and orca just to the side, but I don't know how a polar bear would flip onto the ice or onto the land.
And quoted in the Wall Street Journal, get the only asset that safeguards your future while generating incredible gains. So tangible investments for a free investor kit. Copy of the award-winning documentary Why Money Descends More Good. 800-711-2800. 800-711-2800. 800-711-2800.
Why would a plumber just tell me what it costs to unclog my drain over the phone? Is it that complicated?
No, it's not. It makes no sense at all. They obviously have a price.
Whoa, you've got a nice aroma. Who are you?
Mike Diamond, the Velvet Plumber.
Will you tell me how much to unclog my drain?
$99.
If you haven't seen it,
Don't need to.
Got a lot of blubber tips
Or a mainline sewer stopper. The Velvet
we have to think like that luggage is taking like sharp. I'm not saying that if we're a fully clause and do damage against it, I would really be interested. Honestly, I've always wanted to build some kind of software that you could run these simulations in different locations. I think it would be very, very interesting. And I think somebody will probably do it in the future because this is such a question of children and adults and what would win. And it has been for ancient times. You would have pharaohs or kings who would find an exotic animal and put it up against another animal to know what's the thing of all the species.
You could be eligible for a payroll tax refund of up to $26,000 per employee. Do the math on that one. That's real money. So let me suggest getrefunds.com. You answer a few questions.
I agree. I almost think though that you could perhaps, and I'm not saying that you could actually prevent animal abuse this way, but I mean, people will have these inquiries about it, and that's why they get into dog fights and things like that. There would be a mode where people could unleash those types of curiosities without anyone getting hurt. When the alternative is actually doing the the fighting of the animals, and that obviously is
refunds.com. Click on the qualify me button. It only takes a few
minutes. That's exactly right, but I could definitely see somebody coming up with a game like that.
Getrefunds.com. For emergency backup power, there's only one thing you need to know.
Well, so they should game Stray, which I think is like the first person as a cat, and I think that games like that will become much more popular, where you just like live as a normal animal. I think people not necessarily have all kinds of superpowers and stuff, but I think people really just want to live out their life or play a game like an animal. So if you start to have these games that really realistic, like worlds with animals, I think perhaps you might find a day where you might have those animals pitted up against each other in the virtual world.
Life is imitating art in just a moment. We want to let you know we're still following the storm that we should have heavy rain from noon through tomorrow morning. There are also reports of electrical storm activity in the Thousand Oaks area right now. So we are watching that story very closely as the rain continues to evolve. Just keep it right here on KFI. We'll have the latest for you. But as I was saying,
I've seen it. I now know what you're referencing. It's a amazing game.
The Last of Us. If you haven't seen it, it's on HBO Max. And it talks about what the next...
There aren't many games where you just play as an animal, and that's the only animal, but I really think that those will become much more popular, and look forward to that.
Roundtable format.
You're right. That was one of the first ones where you were just primarily that kind of animal.
And one of the scientists says that the next outbreak won't be viral in nature, it'll be fungal in nature. He gives all the science behind how and why it would be. And then the next outbreak in terms of that timeline in the TV show, like 1990 or something. And then they have the cordyceps fungal outbreak.
What they did to mimic planet and civilization, I think, was phenomenal as well. It made it look like an absolutely new type of
The Last of Us. But it got people thinking about the possibilities or the likelihood of a fungal
that was Super Nintendo, correct?
Being the next major outbreak that civilization or society has to deal with.
That's right.
How to find out today.
Right. So Donkey Kong Country was on Super Nintendo, which did not have 3D graphics acceleration, and it tricked the viewer into using different graphics to actually think that it was. That's what I thought was groundbreaking about it.
An urgent antimicrobial resistance threat,
I would.
according to the CDC, has already been detected in more than half of U.S. states. Candida auris, or C. auris, is so concerning, this is according to KCLA.com, because it is often resistant to antifungal drugs.
Oh no, I made a mistake. I was thinking Duck Hunt has an and then they had the dog, but you couldn't play it any of those characters. Yeah, the earliest one that I wish I can think where you're using anthropomorphic is Donkey Kong.
By the end of 2022, there were more than 8,000 cases and instances of Candida auris identified across 28 states and Washington, D.C. Now, it is not usually considered a significant threat to healthy people. The CDC says that Candida auris outbreaks are a big threat in healthcare settings where the fungus can enter patients' bloodstream and can cause severe, deadly infections. And if you know anything about infections, especially in multiple organs. That's why it was such a big deal. So, I'm not trying to be funny about this, and this is not what was in The Last of Us, but it does highlight how art takes from science to tell a story. And going back to COVID, there were movies like Outbreak and so forth, where it told us something which could happen, and then some semblance of that did happen, and you see that art was way in front of life in that regard. And this is not specifically what happened in The Last of Us, but it does speak to, or maybe at least it gets me thinking about what other threats are legitimately out there, that even though it may be art right now, but it may not always be art. It's interesting the place where the concentration of these funds are highest. I mean, you look at California within the last
really like games like that, or almost like games that are one that sticks out in my mind. I don't know if anybody ever played it. It's pretty popular. Mario for I believe it was a Nintendo. It had a mouse with it, and you could like create music with it, you could paint with it, do all kinds of things. It had like mini games and such. I don't know if anybody ever played it, but it was quite I think, a groundbreaking game. And they never did anything with it. They never, like, Super Nintendo never had, to my knowledge, many games with a mouse, but I thought that was really interesting.
Something like this, what The Last of Us foretold is a future where the
you can compose your own music with it. I mean, this is on Super Nintendo. You know, they made those like those gloves and the little guns for stuff. I mean, we had that in like the 1980s, and that technology was honestly pretty decent. I mean, it worked very well. And you know, the Kinect and the Wii and all that, it hasn't advanced the way that I would have expected it to. I don't even know if PlayStation and Microsoft now, do they even use the Kinect anymore, or do they use those types? Is that a thing? I don't even know. I'm not into it.
We shall see. You know, who knows what this news will be tomorrow. Then we can revisit this conversation, because I'm sure the zombie apocalypse is not going to be what we think it's going to be. It's going to come maybe in some other way. And then I'll have to admit that Squall is right, and I don't want to do that. Okay?
Nobody wants to do that, Mo.
When we come back, we'll talk to George Norton and find out what's going on with him with Coast to Coast AM. It's radio with no Kelly. KFI AM 640 live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app now.
That was an amazing piece of technology. You had the Olympics on it. It was amazing.
He has begun escorting motorists along the 5 freeway.
Right, and so we had this type of technology, and it was moving forward with the Kinect and the Wii, and then it stopped. We don't have that anymore. I mean, you're saying for dance games, and that's really cool, but I mean, I would have expected, you know, PlayStation 4s and 5s and 6s to really advance on that, and it doesn't seem to do that. Just to have done that, it's almost like they stopped doing it.
Japan has won its first World Baseball Classic title since 2009. Team Japan beat the U.S. 3-2 in Miami. It's Japan's fifth ever title. Angels superstar pitcher Shohei Ohtani struck out Angels slugger Mike Trout in the final at bat to secure the win and earn the save for Team Japan. Rain and gusty winds overnight. Rain tomorrow, high 50. Snow in the higher elevations. Rain to end 5 good tomorrow. But crash in Chatsworth on the 118.
Heading eastbound just before Topanga Canyon Boulevard is blocking the left lane, so traffic starts to stack up, approaching Rocky Peak Road. Diamond Bar in the 15 eastbound just before Phillips Branch Road. Watch out for some large potholes and lanes there, slowing you down as you come away from the 57. And some more potholes on the 15 northbound in Hysteria, just after Main Street. They're in the right lane, so it's causing some stop and go traffic from about Lancero Road. KFI in the sky helps get you there faster. I'm Pedro Moreno.
And never did anything with it?
By MGM Rewards. Having the time of your life is more rewarding than ever when you visit any MGM Rewards destination nationwide. Dine, stay, play, and earn on all of it. Details at MGMRewards.com. Subject to owning and redemption limitations applicable to certain purchases and in certain states.
On Ice Team's Daily Game podcast, the cultural icon unveils words of wisdom and motivational quotes he's collected over the years. No punches are pulled, as Ice shares his special brand of profound and brutal honesty on topics like romance, success, failure, and more. I can't sit back and say, I'm going to win this game and not go to practice. You still got to play that game. Faith and your mind is just not going to make it happen. Listen to IC's Daily Game on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcast. Starting May 7th, 2025, you'll need a federally accepted form of identification, like or real ID, to fly within the United States and visit friends and extended family members on military bases. So why wait to give yourself these real benefits? Get your real ID by starting the application online, uploading the correct documents, and make your appointment at the DMV to finish the process. By applying for a real ID now, it's one less thing to worry about later. Visit realid.dmv.ca.gov today. I'm Attorney Derek Cavanelli, founder of 1-800-NO-COP, reminding you to exercise your right to just shut up. It doesn't make you look guilty, it makes you look smart. 1-800-NO-COP, because no one looks good in makeup. Unless you're in that sort of thing. 1-800-NO-COP.
Could you use some extra help meeting basic needs?
Take a name, Dale.
Food on the table or paying your rent? Keeping your home warm and the lights on? Buying new shoes for growing feet? Or help with medical needs? Find out about the Supplemental Security Income Program, SSI, administered by Social Security. It's money you can use to help pay for basic needs like food, clothing, shelter, or medical needs. You can receive monthly SSI payments if your income and financial resources are low, and you're 65 or older, or an adult or child with a disability, or who is blind. Call 1-800-772-1213 or go to ssa.gov/SSI to learn more about SSI and start the application process today. That's ssa.gov/SSI. This message produced by Social Security and U.S. Taxpayers Trust. Join us to celebrate the songs and artists you've loved over the past year.
At our 2023 iHeartRadio Music Awards.
Hosted by Rabbi.
With individual award recipients, David Swift.
And performances by iHeart Award recipients Coldplay, Cody Carson, Cool J, Keith Urban, Pat Benatar, Neil Peralta, Lotto, Money Long, Cody Johnson, and more.
And listen on iHeartRadio.
Monday night at 8 p.m.
And now, a few words from your dog.
Jennifer Jones, please join me and my team of Wake Up Call Wigglers at Brookside Park in Pasadena, Sunday, April 2nd, to Pasadena Humane's Wiggle Waggle Walk to raise funds to help take care of the hundreds of animals associated each year. To donate or join our team and walk with us, go to KFIAM640.com/wiggle.
My age is 40 live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. And in just a few minutes, we'll be Coast to Coast AM with George Norrie. And join you right now. George, I have a question I got to ask you. So, are you a TV enthusiast? And if so, what are you watching right now? I've always been curious. I watch primarily cable news. I used to, in my early days, watch all kinds of shows, but not for a long time. I just met Kathy Graham a bunch. What's he like? Great actor. And a nice guy. And wants to come on Coast to Coast. So we'll do that. Well, you should do that. I want to do that. Yeah, we'll get that done. What a monsoon it was. Did you see those trees then? I sure did. Did you see we had a tornado warning in California? Yes. I kid you not. I thought St. Louis, sure, but not Cali. Right. I live in California, so I don't have to deal with tornado warnings. That's the whole point. Anyway, on the show tonight, we're going to talk about food famine, did it happen to us, and then later on, evil entities on Coast to Coast. I'll be tuned in. Always good to talk to you. Thanks, Mom. I got to say, and I meant that seriously, I live in California, so I don't have to deal with hurricanes. Even though it may seem like a monsoon to George's point, I don't want to deal with any type of tornadoes, despite what ABC has been telling us about those tornado warning. I live in California with the hopes of not dealing with any of that stuff. I am more comfortable, knock on wood, with earthquakes and the prospect of them as opposed to any other severe weather event. I don't have to worry about blizzards for the most part where I live. I'm not going to the San Bernardino Mountains, no disrespect, I'm just saying, I try to stay but it actually put me looking things where I don't get deal for certain things that I can't control. That's just me. That's just me. And Taylor, I know you born and raised on the East Coast, and I think you can appreciate this now. I'm quite sure as you get older, you probably have less of a tolerance to extreme weather, especially East Coast weather.
Yeah, I don't miss the rain and the misery that it brings, but now that it's here, I feel like I need to email somebody about a discount on my rent and go the cost of living because I need to cross the country to.
No. It's rain. It's not snow.
Wait, no, but it's sad and inconvenient to my outfit that I have planned.
That's California outfit thinking, because I know when you were in New Jersey, dealing with snow and rock salt and slush,
I didn't have to pump my own gas in it. So.
you didn't have a car, did you?
I had a car. I had a car. People pump my gas for me. Yeah. So, and now I got to pump my own gas and get out of the car and yeah, it's illegal to get out your car. Yeah, you sit in your car, we take care of you. And now I got to get out, pay more money for my gas, pay more money for my food, and I'm still dealing with the same weather?
This is not, no, this is not the same weather. Okay, even when it's California cold, it's only in the 30s, high 30s, okay? Now, you get down to like 3.
All right. Granted, this kind of cold doesn't hurt my face,
right?
But it still makes me a little sad. And I think that stands for something.
It does stand for something. Yeah, it's not the same. I don't like the rain either. Yes, it brings down my mood, but I would much rather deal with rain than the other stuff as far as inclement weather goes.
Like tornado warnings?
Exactly. I'd rather deal with rain than tornadoes. I'd rather deal with rain than hurricanes. I'd rather deal with rain than any type of those other issues that people do. Even humidity. So we have to deal with humidity.
At this point, I'd rather have the California earthquake than.
Yeah, one of the why not? Oh, I have them all the time. That's why I would rather deal with the earthquake.
Yeah, we got some Humboldt County.
Yeah, California. Now, Amy, this is in the perfect time. What's the coldest it would get in Oregon?
It gets below 50%.
Yeah, I know you get snow, but it's not like it's getting single digits, is it? For the most part?
Rare.
Rarely.
But it would drop into the 20s.
Yeah, that's a lot. Yeah, I could do without that.
But not very often. And they don't get a lot of snow up there either. It's mainly rain.
Yeah. But I know they got some snow in Portland 2 weeks ago.
We had a lot of snow in Portland 2 weeks ago. That was unusual. They don't get those kind of storms very often.
See, I'd rather go to snow camp like I did as a kid. I'd rather go to the snow intentionally as opposed to having to deal with it week on end inevitably every single year. And I try to tell people all the time, snow is cool for like the first day or 2, but when you have to live in it and exist in it and go to the store in it, and you have to maybe, depending on how old you are, go to the laundromat in it, go to school, it takes on a whole different level of control. I don't have to tell you living it is. You know, it's just different. Yeah. That's why it brings me joy and hope for California period. Meaning that this will be gone. Late afternoon, we're out of it. We're back to what we're known for. God, none of that is done in March. There's still a lot of snow around the country that is out now. They're not out of winter in earnest yet. Snow can go sometimes, I know in New York, New Jersey, into April.
Yeah, you're right about that.
So, yeah. I'm okay. Yeah, I'm good. It's all right. But that's just me. I don't mind the seasons changing. I don't mind it getting a little cold. I don't mind even a little rain. This is accepted. Don't get me wrong. This is just a lot.
It's still pretty short-lived. In the grand scheme of things, we needed the water desperately.
And I like to take my showers now without anyone complaining. Okay?
You follow the rules before when people complain?
Hell no. We don't have to listen to people complaining now anymore. We have no right to complain. Now, back when we were first talking about this, even years and years ago, before I was married, I would take 20-minute showers, and I would say that on the radio, and I would get letters and tweets from listeners saying, "How dare you? We need to conserve water." And I want to say, "Oh, I live by myself. I don't live in a 4-bedroom house with a lawn and washing my cars and everything. I live in a 2-bedroom condo by myself. If I want to take a 20-minute shower and jam it, that's what I was going to do. And I was happy.
I take 2 20-minute showers a day. Don't eat me up. That's just what I need in order to feel safe and happy.
I would rather you come in clean than anything. So I'm not. That's right.
Safe, guys.
Yeah, we don't want that because, this is a studio, it's not that big. And as long as this is alive in California, we don't need all of that.
We're going to watch all that fungus off.
We'll see you tomorrow. Coming up next is Coast to Coast AM. It's your Camp Out AM support you live everywhere. You guys are radio app. Your smart speaker to go with very smart. Hey, where's Camp Out AM 640? Odie Smart. AOSP 822.
Los Angeles, Orange County.
Live everywhere on the radio app.
One down, 2 to go. I need to say live from KFI 24 newsroom. The first day of the 3-day strike of LA school workers is wrapped up.
With this day edition, the first meeting with LA School Superintendent Alberto Carvalho for over 10 months with no urgency by the district to address their needs. Computer technician for LA Schools, Congress Robles, says the district has the resources to pay workers what they deserve.
We have financial people who also look at books and determine whether what we're asking for is affordable and sustainable, and our people say it is.
The strike is expected to last through Thursday with more tickets and routes scheduled throughout the county. In LA, it's Chris Adler, KFI News.
The heavy rainstorm fueled by another atmospheric river forced South Ferry Farm and Six Flags Magic Mountain gets just their gate. Disneyland is also closing an hour early tonight because of the bad weather. California facing 12. A man's been charged with killing his ex-girlfriend in Anaheim.
And on Tuesday, Aaron Romo was out on bail on a separate domestic violence case when he allegedly killed his ex. The body of the 24-year-old woman, investigators say Romo had previously dated, was found in an apartment on Friday. Charges today include murder with a sentencing enhancement of committing an offense while out of custody on another case. Romo posted $100,000 on that domestic violence case, where he is charged with felony corporal injury on a spouse or cohabitant and false imprisonment, as well as misdemeanor resisting arrest and battery. In Anaheim, Corbin Carson, KFI News.
More than 250,000 people have gone home from California this year. The California Association of Realtors says more than 284,000 single-family sales closed as of last month. The association says lower interest rates allowed more people to buy. They could expect more lower-rate home sales, but the availability of homes is so tight. As the state median home price went down to $735,480 in February. That is actually the lowest price level in 2 years. A teacher in Virginia who was allegedly shot by a 6-year-old in a school classroom has spoken publicly for the first time since the shooting. She said yesterday she's had a challenging recovery, including 4 surgeries. The woman says she will never forget the look on the child's face as she pointed a gun directly at it. She says it changed her life. The teacher was in the hospital for almost 2 weeks after she was shot in the chest and hands in January. Actress Gwyneth Paltrow has appeared in court in a lawsuit filed by a guy who says she violently crashed into him skiing at a resort in Utah. The man says Paltrow was skiing down the slopes with her entourage in 2016 when she crashed into him. The Paltrow's lawyer disagrees.
There's the question, well, who ran into who? He said, did you run into me? And Gwyneth's like, no, you ran right into me.
Attorney Bowen says the man doesn't deny he apologized to Paltrow after the collision. The man is suing her for $300,000, saying the accident in Park City was the result of negligence that left him emotionally distressed and anxious. California's favorite Easter candy is the Cadbury Mini Egg.
The crunchy candy-coated chocolate is the Golden State top choice when it comes to Easter candy, followed by the foil-wrapped chocolate egg. CandyStore.com used 15 years of sales data to come up with a list of top Easter candies in states across the country. The company also listed the worst Easter candies: jelly beans, Cheetos cinnamon puffs, that's candy, Buttercorn chips, and the #1 worst Easter candy is Cadbury cream egg. Jennifer Jones Lee, KFI News.
Oh, come on, I like the Cadbury cream. Southland weather can see a 5 gusty wind. Rain will turn tonight, lows in the 30s and 40s, up to 6 inches of snow possible overnight in the Anahuac Valley, and winds gusting up to 60 miles per hour. Showers with a slight chance of thunderstorms tomorrow morning and rain off and onto the afternoon. Snow in higher elevations. Highs will be in the 40s and 50s. It should dry out by Thursday with highs in the low 60s. And sunny Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Highs in the 50s to mid 60s. It's 52 in Fullerton, 51 Rancho Santa Margarita, 52 in Palo Verde, 53 in Santa Monica. That random fluctuates on the 118.
This is on the 118 eastbound, right before the Beta Canyon. You're picking up a left lane there. You drive it, busting up as you approach. And in West LA, this is on the 405 southbound at Sunset. We have a few car cracks there picking up the right lane. You're taking delays in that area. Riverside, we have good news. Early effect on the 52 northbound right before MLK. That's been through some lanes. You're driving, recovering in that area. KFI Skyhope 50 there faster. Outright. And this report is sponsored by Caltrans and CleanCA.com. Californians can agree that there is no place in their lives for litter. So let's come together and create a litter-free California. Join them at CleanCA.com. Let's do it together. Brought to you by Caltrans. Junk science. That's what doctors call many of those fruit and vegetable supplements. Junk science because they use extracts of common produce department fruits and vegetables with few health benefits. I take Pure Green because it's the whole organic fruit and vegetable, not some one